What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just gonna give it a sec. Wait for some people to join. Early morning stream today because I want to watch some videos, and I figure if I have to suffer through the videos, so do you. That's gonna basically be my new philosophy. I want to do a lot more streaming. I'm enjoying the streaming quite a bit. And if I have to suffer through watching nonsense on my own, I might as well be surrounded by friends. And that's just the way we're gonna go for a while. That's what we're gonna try out. And we'll see how many people come today. Adrian is always here. Adrian is such a fucking champion, always here. Adrian, just so you know, you are not under no obligation to watch every single live stream I do. I won't judge you. I won't feel bad. I know I started a little bit early because I was just sitting here. So here's what we're going to do. I have some coffee. I have not yet had my coffee this morning. We're going to have some coffee together. If you're having a cup of coffee, we will have some coffee together. We can hang out. I also have some leftover sushi that I will be eating for breakfast because I am a responsible adult of 40 years old. And that's what I'm going to be eating for breakfast at almost noon. Because that's just the way it is. All right. So what I want to do this morning, and I want to give you guys a little bit of context for why I elected. Well, there's a couple things. So first off, hang on, I just need to find an email. I was irresponsible and didn't have something pulled up on my screen that I should have had pulled up on my screen. So last week, I did a stream where I did some call-ins, and who knows, maybe we'll do call-ins a little bit later today. And hang on. I'm gonna crop something out real quick before I show it to you because I don't want to get a privacy violation on YouTube and have to come back and edit this later. Okay. All right, now I have it on my screen. Okay, so I got this email this morning. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is either. I know I know the name, but let me just show you. Like I got this email this morning from this dude, Tank McPeterson, which of course with a name like Tank McPeterson, you can definitely bet that this is going to be like a serious conversation. And the message says, I'm pretty sure the last RAMZPAUL video explains why a lot of us ex-viewers of your channel feel about CRT. Although that wasn't the main topic, he did a good job of explaining how I feel at least. See ya. And then he linked to the video. Now, this reminded me that I actually wanted to do a reaction video to this guy anyway. Now, I had never heard of this guy. I had no idea who he was until like last week when one of my locals members who I love dearly called into my channel when I was doing the open call-ins, and she defended him. She defended this guy, Paul Ramsey, and said, he's not what people think he is, Carly. He's not what people think it is. I had never heard of him, so I am neither here nor there on it. But then this guy apparently did a video about me. And apparently he did another video, like following up that gatekeeper video. And I had meant to do a reaction video to the original, I think it's the CRT video. I think I've got the right one last week. But then I was at PorkFest and I just didn't get to it. But I literally have no idea who this guy is. And this guy apparently, like, I know he came after me on Twitter. I know he got his ass blocked very quickly on Twitter. And then my locals member, I felt so bad because she'd come on my channel and like it defended him. And then she saw the video that he did, where I guess he was not so complimentary of me. And she felt so bad. And she came and apologized. And I was like, dude, like, it's fine. And like, you can't help when other people are assholes. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I would watch these videos and find out who this guy is and what he's about. And we can do this. We can do this together. Like a fun little activity. And if you haven't yet mounted that like button, as Gayla is putting in the chat with our heart with the devil horns on it, please mount that like button for me, please, because we know we're going to have to counteract the trolls who maybe they're not up yet. See, this is the benefit of doing like an early stream because the trolls aren't awake yet. So I'm like in the clear for a little while at least. We will spend some chill time together in the morning. Wild Rose says, when I heard of Pork Fest, I thought it was literally a festival for pork products. I'm very disappointed to find out otherwise. No, it's pork, P-O-R-C, like porcupine, not pork as in bacon, sadly. Although there were people making and selling bacon at the event. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to just read this guy's Wikipedia entry. Now, I'm gonna put a disclaimer on this. We all know that Wikipedia is not necessarily the most accurate of sources. Like James Lindsay's Wikipedia entry is laughable at best. But let's just take a look because this is just the best source I have to be able to figure out who this guy is. Okay. Paul Ray Ramsey, also known as RAMZPAUL or RAMZPAUL, born in 1963, is an American vlogger, YouTube personality, and public speaker. The New York Times described Ramsey as a popular alt-right internet personality. And the Swiss newspaper, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that, identified him as one of the 9 most important representatives of the alt-right. Media Matter for America, The Forward, and the Southern Poverty Law Center have called Ramsey a white nationalist. Oh, goody. Oh, goody. Well, like I said, Wild Rose, I agree. Like, I don't really trust Wikipedia, but we're going to get some context, and then we're going to watch the videos, and we're going to see if the videos confirm or deny what Wikipedia says. He spoke at a 2013 conference held by the white supremacist online magazine American Renaissance. Ramsey replied to a question posed by Matt at the conference about the creation of a white-only state. We need to balkanize and create our own homeland. We have a right to exist. God damn, that sounds a little racist to me. That quote sounds a little bit racist. Okay, so that's some context. But we don't want to judge because, like I said, I don't trust Wikipedia as a source so far as I can like throw it. So I'm open to being proven. I'm open to Wikipedia being proven wrong. And what I also want to say at the top of this, because I'm going to be much more generous than people who like to tell other people to hate me. Listen, if you like this guy, that's your business, man. I'm not going to be one of these people that tells people like stop listening or stop following or otherwise abandon people that you like because of what I say. Watch whatever you want, like whatever you want. I don't really care. If you like this guy and I end up ripping him apart in this video, then continue to like him. It's not any of my business what you watch. It's not any of my business what you listen to. You are an adult, presumably. 99.7% of you are adults, according to my YouTube statistics. So you're an adult, make your own decisions. I'm not ever going to tell you not to watch someone or not to like someone. You know, that's just it. Oh, good. We've got some trolls. We've got some trolls in the chat getting blocked. All right, let's take a look. And the first video that we are going to watch, Chrome tab, is the debunking Prager CRT argument video, which I believe is the one where I'm mentioned. Maybe. I don't know. This is like, if I'm wrong about this, hang on, let me just double check. I'm pretty sure that this is the one, but I'm gonna just take a quick look at his uploads here. And if I'm wrong, well, they're not very long. We can always watch a different one. I also need to set up my sound so it's coming into my headphones and not into the speakers. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is the one. I'm pretty sure this is it. So this is what we're going to go with for right now. All right, let's get this into theater mode so we can all enjoy it a little bit more. Well, guess what? Guys, like, here's the thing. I'm going to start creating some different kinds of content because I need to keep myself sane. I'm going to continue to do the videos about like the short 10, 15-minute videos about different news stories. I trust that you are all adults and that you can make the selection of what you want to watch and what you don't want to watch. If you don't want to watch this live stream right now, literally no one is forcing you. So act like an adult. Take some personal responsibility. No one's forcing you to watch stuff you don't want to watch. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. I forgot to do that. It's on my desktop. I promise I will do it right after this. I promise. I promise, Tony. I promise. I promise. I got so tired last night. I got really, really tired last night. I basically passed out. I'm sorry. I'm a slacker. But I promise it will get edited and uploaded into the community today. What Tony is talking about is we did a debate club in my locals community. And I need to edit the video and get the recording uploaded so people who are not there could see it. So if you want to see the debate club, which was awesome, kb.locals.com/support. It will be available later today. All right. Oh, Britt. Hello, Britt. It is nice to see you. Well, we're going to see if this is a good live stream or a bad live stream, Britt. It's not, we're going to see how it goes. All right. Who is ready to start this video and find out if this guy really is a white identitarian like Wikipedia says, or if he's just misunderstood. If he is just a misunderstood person. We're going to see. Tony says he's cracking the whip and he says, he's right. He's right. He is right about that. Touche, Tony. All right, guys, let's get this party started. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, I would say that I hit the right video. I would say that is correct. Now, what I want to say is, like, I didn't even do the CRT video for Prager University. So, you know what I find funny is, so, you know, all these, like, guys, I cannot even tell you. I've spent hours and hours and hours hiding people from my channel and blocking people. And from all of these, like, white identitarians that have been invading. I mean, I spent like 3 hours yesterday basically getting, I think, the last of them that I know about. And I cannot tell you the amount of anti-Semitic comments. Like, for everyone who says, like, these are not white identitarians, well, a lot of them are calling me Jewish and then saying really anti-Semitic shit. And a lot of them are ripping apart, like, Prager. And by the way, I met Dennis Prager for the first time the other day at Dave Rubin's house, and he's like the nicest guy in the world. So F anyone that's coming after Prager, man. Like, I have no issue with PragerU. I have no issue with Dennis Prager. And there was a lot of anti-Semitism going on in those comments. So the fact that he's already labeling this debunking Prager's CRT argument, I didn't do the CRT video for Prager, man. I didn't do the CRT video for Prager. James Lindsay did the CRT video for Prager. I was a Democrat for 20 years and then woke up video for Prager. So we're gonna see. But apparently I did find the right video. Okay, that was unexpected. Let's dig in.
Someone sent me a link to a video by someone named Karlin Borisenko.
Oh God, how weak is this guy? I'm sorry, this is like the first time I've ever actually seen this guy. What a... Wow. This is all... Oh yeah, they really don't like Dave Rubin either. They really don't. I'll tell you what. Wow. This guy is a leader. All right. I'm gonna reserve my comments on how weak this guy is until we get into the farther video.
And at first I thought, oh, great, this is another one of those transgender transition videos or something. And I'm just tired of that subject because, you know, it's LGBTQ month and, you know, God bless them, but I just had my fill of it.
I have been married to a dude for almost 10 years. It's like these people really think that if you don't have the haircut that they want you to have, that you're like, what the fuck? Does no one even Google anymore? Did these guys even bother to Google me? I swear.
And he said, no, RAMZPAUL, she's I guess it's a she. I hope I didn't get her.
Oh, honey, I know I'm more of a man than you are, but let's be clear. Let's be clear. What the fuck? I am absolutely more of a man than this guy is. I will tell you that right now. I would overpower this guy in half of a second without even trying that fucking hard. But I am still actually a woman, as it turns out, which says something. Maybe the fact that, here's the thing, like maybe the fact that these guys all are saying I'm trans or like whatever, maybe it's that they know they're just 10,000 times weaker than a woman and they can't handle it. I'm just saying.
her or they or his pronouns wrong is a new conservative.
I have never, ever, 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 ever said I was a conservative. You know what I really should do is I should like make a sign. I should replace my beautiful artwork that I have behind me. I should make a sign that says, I'm not a conservative, and hang it behind me. Or like, I have never been a conservative. Any news of my conservatism is fake. Then, dude, don't watch then. Like, we've already covered this. If you don't want to watch, don't watch. Exercise some responsibility. No one's saying you have to be here. But, I mean, like, honestly, for people in the chat, have I ever been unclear about not being a conservative? Truly, is anyone in the chat surprised that I have not ever been a conservative? Like, is this a revelation for anyone? I'm honestly, no. Like, no. My God. I have been about as clear as I can be. All right.
And I'm like, of course, it's 2021. And I guess she, and I will use she, I hope I don't get that wrong. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but she used to be a Democrat and now she's a conservative.
No. Wrong. I'm gonna be like Trump. Wrong. Dragon Water. I never thought you were conservative for a second because Dragon Water, you are smart. Yeah, I mean, Kieran asked an interesting question. Why are they all so anemic looking? Because they're trying to be more. Kieran, you want to know why? Because they're trying to be more white. That's what it is. They're trying to be more white. I'll argue with whoever the hell I want, dude. I will argue with whoever the hell I want. Sorry.
Whatever that means exactly, I don't know anymore. But she's with the.
Well, it sure as shit doesn't mean I'm trying to be like you. I'll tell you that right now.
This organization called PragerU. I'm like, oh, I know PragerU.
Wait. Did you say I work for Prager?
Anymore. But she's with this organization called PragerU.
Wrong. I have never worked for PragerU. I have never received a paycheck from PragerU. I did a PragerU video that I wasn't even paid for because they don't pay people for the videos. So let's just debunk all that right now. I did, however, get a 2-day trip to Los Angeles, and that was pretty cool.
I'm like, oh, I know PragerU. I know them. And that was founded by Dennis Prager. And they're these base ethnic nationalists. They are.
I'm not entirely sure I would call PragerU ethnic nationalists, but okay. Dragonwater says, why do they define conservatives as the only thing that is not I mean, I think that this is a really great question. Like, why do people assume that you either have to be Democrat or conservative? That makes no sense. There are a million different things that you can be that are neither Democrat nor conservative.
Dennis Prager is an Orthodox Jew and he's a Zionist. And a Zionist means he's a nationalist for his people, the nationalist for the Jewish people. And he always wants to have a homeland, Israel, for his people, and there always will be a majority in their homeland. He wouldn't want Israel overrun with non-Jews, for example. And I'm like, yeah, based. He's an ethno-nationalist. And I'm like, Dennis,
Why does he think being an ethno-nationalist is based? I don't think that's based. I get Israel, man. I get it. But I don't have a dog in that fight, so I'm not going to really express an opinion either way. I actually think you are more conservative than them. Conservatism has no place or any type of racial or anti-Semitism in it. I mean, listen, I've met a lot of conservatives in the past year. I've been to CPAC twice. I've, been to a lot of conservative events. I would never have called, I don't think that most conservatives are like this guy. Not in any stretch. I think most conservatives are kind people that, they just have different ideas. They, and I agree with some of those ideas. I don't agree with some of those ideas, but they're not like this. This is not what conservatives are. And I frankly am like, it's a little bit perturbing to me that more conservatives aren't actually pissed about stuff like this because, these guys give all conservatives a bad name. I don't think most conservatives are bad people. I don't think most conservatives are identitarians like this guy. I don't think that at all. But people like this are going to be held up as like the poster children for all conservatives. And if I was actually a conservative, I would be pretty pissed if this guy was representing me. Yeah, you just said like we're fun people. Yes. Yeah, incredibly fun. I have a lot of fun with conservatives, especially the Jews. Dude, I went to Shabbat dinner at CPAC this past. That was like the most fun experience of my entire CPAC experience was Shabbat dinner. First, the food was awesome. B, the company was amazing. I had a great time.
I support your position. I support that for all nations. Everyone has the right to self-determination. So good for you, Dennis. I don't know. He may not like me saying that, but that's what he is. So good for him. And I guess if Carlin is on his staff, maybe she thinks the same way.
I am not on his staff. Yes, I'm a secret Jew. I am. I'm a secret Jew because I like Shabbat dinner. God damn it. Tony's right. That is going to get clipped.
Assume, right? But then I saw this video title. I'm like, well, what the hell? The title is Stop. And stop is in all caps. So that means she or that.
Guess what, RAMZPAUL or Paul Ramsey, whatever the hell your name is. CRT is in all caps. Congratulations. We both know how to use the shift key.
They are serious about this.
Sake.
Referring to critical race theory as, quote, anti-white.
Mm-hmm.
I love the quotes, like anti-white's not a real thing. Is not only wrong, and wrong is in all caps, is dangerous. Like,
it is
dangerous. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I want to see a dangerous video. So
TPS sarcasm. Oh, the horror of thinking Israel should exist and defend herself. Definitely the same as an ethno-nationalist, anti-Semitic. Yeah, I mean, I have no issue with Israel existing. And I really think that Palestine should stop trying to bomb it off the map. I also think that Palestine should have accepted the offer of creating their own freaking homeland or whatever the hell that they've apparently had twice. But again, this is not one of my biggest issues. I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm going to try to remain neutral, but I am not in favor of Israel being bombed off the map by Palestine. I'll tell you that right now. Not in favor of that at all. But I can also see the other side of it too. I think it sucks all around.
I decided to watch it, and wow. I'm just a dude with a camera. I don't have a big foundation behind me because, I'm probably not that bright.
Dude, I am a woman in my second bedroom that doesn't even have air conditioning in the second bedroom. I wish I had big foundation dollars behind me.
If I was brighter, you would think I would have all these foundations say, hey, RAMZPAUL, we love your stuff. Here's millions of dollars. We're going to support you so you can actually have like a good studio.
I have a good studio with millions of dollars? What are you talking about? I have some shawls hanging behind me. In my second bedroom. In New Hampshire. On a webcam. My webcam, guys, is like this big. It is a small little webcam, this thing right there. It's a webcam. Oh my God.
Oh, and proper lighting and a nice background.
Proper lighting? If you guys saw my lighting setup in this room, I mean, I do have lighting, like it's light, right? This room doesn't even have any lights in it. I had to like drag in all this stuff. I've got stuff over here. I've got stuff over here. Like, my God.
I would assume that, but no, I don't get that. Never have got that. I get supporters from you, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. But I don't get all this stuff. But she's from PragerU, right? She used to be a Democrat. She's getting all this money. So I'm like, she must be kind of smart. So listen.
What money? What money? Like, I would listen, if I am really entitled to all of this money, I would really like whatever. Dude, I drive like a 10-year-old car. Like, well, that's mostly because I'm lazy and just don't feel like going to buy another car. To be fair, my husband has actually been haranguing me about getting a new car. But if I've got all this money, why do I drive a 10-year-old fucking car and live in the middle of New Hampshire in like a $150,000 townhouse? Like, my God. I do have really nice art though. I do have really nice fucking art. That's where I put my PragerU money, into my art. Jim says, "Are you holding out?" I ain't nothing to hold out on, man. Like, what do you?
Let's hear what she has to say. And then she starts the video babbling something about a white power movement. White power? What the fuck? Is this 1975 or something? Whoever uses that term, I've never heard that term. But she was saying,
"Oh, I am relatively sure you have heard that term. I am pretty damn positive you in fact have heard that term, dude whose name I don't even remember."
Worry about white power. And I'm like, what has this got to do with anything? But then she brought up, well, there's 3 reasons you shouldn't say it's anti-white. So I'm okay, let's hear your argument. Let's hear your intellectual argument. I'm willing to change my mind. If you
Hang on. Sorry. Told you I was eating sushi for breakfast. I never promised an intellectual argument. I never once promised an intellectual argument. In fact, I rail on the intellectuals like all the time. I'm honestly curious. Does anyone in the chat that watches my videos, do you expect me to present a calm, rational, intellectual argument for pretty much anything? Because I feel like that's really not my jam. I mean, it's not that I can't do it. It's that I don't particularly find it fun or invigorating. And I'm much more interested in how things play out in the real world. Like, I just want to talk about like reality. I don't want to talk about like an intellectualization of like, I rag on the intellectuals who are intellectualizing all the goddamn time. Like, no. Well, I mean, if I'm too emotional for you, then don't watch. But like, I'm not gonna like, that's like, to be quite frank. Yeah, Adrian gets it. Like, well, you present an argument many times, but I put my personality into it. I don't want to do dry intellectual content. I just don't. It doesn't interest me at all. Yeah, like, that's what makes me fun to watch. I try to explain concepts in like a little bit more of like a fun way. And sometimes I get pissed off, and I'm going to show you when I'm getting pissed off, or I'm going to show you when I'm frustrated. That's part of the thing. If you guys don't like it, I mean, then maybe I'm just not the channel for you, and that's cool too, man. TBS says he envies you, assumes money, not hard work. Yo. Yeah, I do agree with this. I do find intellectuals honestly to be quite boring sometimes, and I feel like intellectuals oftentimes they're doing what they're doing to like try to impress themselves and impress each other and give each other high fives. Not all the time. I think that, I think sometimes it's interesting their perspectives, but I can't sit here and watch intellectual content all day. It's not fun.
You can show me otherwise. And her first argument, number one is that, well, it's not really anti-white because there's some people who disagree with critical race theory that aren't white, and they're attacked too.
No, that actually was not my argument at all. So now we're seeing your intellectual prowess, Paul. Different, Paul says. His entire video so far has been a bunch of logical fallacies. No, that wasn't my first argument. My first argument was that critical race theory is racist against everyone, and I can list off many instances of how it is racist against Black people or Asian people or, anyone. I mean, frankly, a lot of non-white people, they're racist against them as well. It's simply racist in different ways, and no form of racism is any better or worse or more offensive to me than any other form of racism. When you are training Black children from the time they're kids to believe that they can never be successful in life unless white people lift them up, that's goddamn racist. And that's child abuse, so far as I'm concerned. I did a poll the other day on Twitter. Hang on. Pause. I'm just going to bring up this poll that I did the other day on Twitter. And frankly, like, the smart people knew exactly what I was saying in this poll. They knew exactly what I was getting at, but a lot of people kind of didn't get it. Hang on. I'm scrolling, just gotta find it. And then we'll bring up the poll. But I tweet way too much. Way too much. Okay. Hang on. Almost there. Bear with me. Where the holy hell is this damn poll? Huh. Hang on. I'm gonna look somewhere else because I know someone retweeted it that doesn't tweet as much as me. Thank you for bearing with me, folks. If I can't find it soon, I will give up. Okay, found it. Okay, we did have a super chat come in. Joseph says, I know the whole Israel-Palestine discussion isn't your priority, but Dave Smith has an excellent video convo about it recently that might be worth a watch. Yeah, I'll give that a look. I appreciate that. All right, let me show you this poll that I put up on Twitter. So I said, which is worse, making a false accusation against someone that is easily disproven, or making someone believe that no matter how hard they work, they will never be successful? And wouldn't you know it, 83% of the 800 people who answered this poll said that it was worse to make someone believe that no matter how hard they work, they will never be successful. Now, with point number one, what I'm talking about there is the idea that all white people are racist. If you get accused for being racist when you haven't done anything racist, I'm sorry, that is a completely easily disprovable point. It is. It's a false accusation that you can say, yeah, I'm not a racist, and I know I'm not a racist, and whatever. Like you can just dismiss it, go on with your life. It doesn't have to impact you. The second is exactly what they're doing to Black kids in schools right now. They are making these children believe that no matter how hard they work, they will never be successful because of the color of their skin. And I'm sorry, that's racist. And 83% of the people who answered this poll agreed with me. Now, for what it's worth, of course, this is not a scientific poll by any stretch of the imagination, but I still think that it is telling that an overwhelming majority agreed with me. So that was the first point I was making, was that it harms everyone. It harms people in different ways, and there is no form of racism that is any better or any worse than any other form of racism. But let's continue as you distort my words, weak-willed white man.
I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, it's true, your statement that it's just not white people that are opposed to critical race theory.
I never said opposed. So we're talking like this guy wants to rag on me for not having an intellectual argument, and yet he seems to be completely incapable of actually properly defining the argument that I made. Bing. Block.
Michelle Malkin, I love her to death, good friend. She's an Asian lady. She's opposed to critical race theory. So yeah, I don't think 100% of people that are opposed to critical race theory are white. There's other people that are opposed to it too that aren't white. Good job, Carlin. Good job.
Literally not the argument that I made. Look at that. Oh God, this guy is fucking evil. Literally not the argument I made. Okay.
Good job, Carlin. You're true on that. But that doesn't negate the fact that critical race theory at its core just attacks whites. For example, they say whites are born evil. They have all the world's problems, and racism is because of white people.
It doesn't say white people are born evil. It says they're born, they're socialized to be white. Now, and this is I really think this is an important distinction, Because yes, does it say that like white people are racist from the time they were born, and the Arizona Department of Education says children start becoming aware of this around 3 years old? That's all true. That's not the same thing as saying white people are born evil. That's not the same thing. And the reason that he's saying that it's saying that white people are born evil is because he wants to upset people. He wants to be alarmist. He wants to piss people off because that's how they recruit people into their movements. They piss people off. Critical race theory is bad. Critical race theory lies when it says that white people are racist from the time they were born because they are socialized to be white. But it is not true. It is not true that it says that white people are born evil. It does not say that. And we need to start, and I'm going to start being like really specific about these terms on this channel, simply because I think a lot of people are getting really, really alarmist about this. And I do not think that it is helpful to the fight to defeat it. I think what he's trying to do is recruit people into his little disaffective white angry men movement. That's what I think. And that's not to say that I think that all people are against this or all people who are white are going to be like angry about it. But that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to piss people off so they go to him.
And there's no redemption for white. It's really psychotic type of ideology. And yeah, they have a lot of mumbo jumbo academic terms, but when you get down to it, that's what it is. And Carlin, please.
Such an intellectual argument he's making. Isn't he such a brilliant intellectual? I was really expecting more of an intellectual argument for someone who started the video off saying, wow, I was expecting an intellectual argument and she just didn't deliver on it.
I was hoping you would say, no, everyone's confused. They think it's anti-white. But look here's an example where they're attacking blacks in critical race theory. Here's an example where they're attacking Jews. Here's an example where they're attacking Asians. So see, they attack all races, just not whites.
No.
But when you...
No, I didn't actually say that. I didn't actually say they attack all races, just not whites. Completely false. Completely false. When I say they attack everyone, what I mean is they attack everyone. Everyone includes whites.
You read the material, it's 100% white. At least I've never seen...
No, wrong.
Critical race theory attack any other ethnic group than whites.
The Washington Post in January 2021 ran an article with the headline that said multiracial whiteness. Multiracial whiteness. So that just disproves exactly what he said right there. We could also point to numerous instances, as I've done over the past couple weeks on this channel, of how they attack anyone who is not white, who does not agree with them, or who questions them. So many instances of it being applied in that way. And to say that he's never read material that says anything other than whites, well, then, I guess he's just read all the materials in the world. I guess he doesn't have selective recollection or a group of materials that he's pulling from at all, because that's easily disproven. It's just flat out wrong.
And you're right, Carlin, that some of the critics of critical race theory aren't white themselves, and they will get attacked by the left, like Michelle Mockin. But that doesn't mean the substance of the course isn't anti-white. And I hope
it's not a single course, you idiot.
Hope I'm not going too fast for you, Carlin. But
oh, honey, apparently I'm going too fast for you.
Let me dumb it down even more, because I know you're with Prager University. This would
not
be
with
like
Prager
saying,
University.
Oh, well, Hitler and in Germany, they said all this bad stuff about Jews constantly. But no, it wasn't anti-Jewish. No, don't say it's anti-Jewish, because there were some
a little bit of an ironic example for someone that doesn't really like Jewish people all that much. Isn't it ironic that he is using the Holocaust as an example when he spent the first part of this video literally ripping on Dennis Prager?
Jews that were opposed to Hitler, and Hitler didn't like them, like Stalin. Stalin was opposed to Hitler, and he wasn't Jewish, so you really can't say that what the Nazis wrote was anti-Semitic. No, it was anti-everyone. Don't call it anti-Semitic. No, don't do that.
Dude, you already said that you don't even want Israel to exist. So your opinion on anything related to the Holocaust and the Jewish fucking people isn't worth an ounce so far as I'm concerned.
Would you say that, Carlin? Would you, or why not? And so, Carlin,
Paul, do you want Israel to exist, Paul? Do you want Israel to exist? Do you want the Jews to have a homeland, or are you against that, like you basically said at the beginning of the fucking video?
If you're going to convince me, you need to show me in the material.
Honey, you are the last person in the world I'm worried about convincing. Last person in the world.
Where they're attacking other races besides whites. That just seems kind of logical to me, and I didn't hear that.
Well, since you watch videos on my channel, you can come back and look at any of the 700 plus videos I have on my channel, because many of them actually deal with that exact subject. Do your fucking homework.
So your argument here sucks. It really does. It's something I would expect from someone in a special needs freshman class in high school. But it's really on that level. So you need to up your game on there. But I said, okay, well, let's look at your argument number 2. Maybe you did better in argument number 2. And her number 2 argument.
You know what I found out? So fun fact for all the Joshua fans in the crowd. Remember when we did the small dick joke contest for the other guy whose video we reacted to on this channel? So I had an offline conversation with Joshua, and I said, and he's probably going to be pissed that I'm telling you this. Whatever, he's not watching. So I had an offline conversation with Joshua, and I asked him to psychic whether or not that guy actually like had like a small dick, and he like did it, and I was like, you could actually do that? Like you could tell the size of someone's member? And he was like, well, I can't tell the size of it, but what I can tell is how they feel about it. And so Joshua actually did confirm that the small dick joke contest was perfectly appropriate in that particular situation based on his psychic intuition of how that guy felt about his gentleman.
Was you can't say it's anti-white because that's what they, meaning the left, want you to say, because that proves you're racist. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? How does that prove you're racist? To me, being racist is you hate other groups of people because of their race, right? That's what I assume.
And to me, being racist means that you're using race to make judgments about people. So we all have our different definitions. If you are judging people based on the color of their skin rather than the content of their character, that's a little racist. That's literally the definition that we've been using for racism for the last, however long. Common Cure says Charles Murray, the guy all the alt-rights go to for race and IQ, literally expressed fear of a white uprising and is against it. He's a classical liberal. Yeah, someone told me yesterday he has a new book out that's basically kind of expressing those sentiments, and I'll put it on the long list of books that I need to read. Because listen guys, like legitimately, I was sent this morning a White Lives Matter manual. This exists. This is what people like this are trying to do.
What racism means, at least the classical definition. I know they keep changing that, but so how does being opposed for your people being attacked, how does that?
Your people. Your people. Does anyone else in the chat get a little bit nervous when we see people like this talking about white people as your people? And anyone who's not white, because that makes me a little bit nervous. I'm going to say it. It does. It does. Dragon Water, I feel like I could out-debate this guy, and I am no debater or scholar. I think a qualified middle schooler could out-debate this guy. Yeah, what do you mean, your people? Exactly. That's disturbing. Listen, I'll say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think that what success looks like in the fight against like critical race, I mean, frankly, the woke on the right and the woke on the left, because I think that they're both exactly the same, is the goal should be a colorblind society that focuses on individualism. And by colorblind, I do not mean that we don't see race. Obviously, if you have different color skin than me and you're standing in front of me, I'm going to be able to see it. But what I mean is by colorblind is that we do not treat people differently based on the color of their skin. We don't make judgments about people purely based on the color of their skin. That's what we need to strive for. And probably colorblind is probably like honestly not the best word for it, but I don't have a better one right now. If you guys have suggestions, I'd love to hear it.
That make you racist. And again, let's go back to the National Socialist Jewish example. That'd be like saying, oh, no, the Nazis want you to.
He loves the Jews until he doesn't love the Jews. Isn't that funny? He loves using the Jews as an example, but doesn't like Prager, anything associated with Prager, and doesn't want Jews to, doesn't want Israel to exist. Color neutral. That's a good one. Color neutral. That's a good idea.
Say that is anti-Jewish or anti-Semitic, because then they can call you a racist. See, it's stupid. It's really dumb.
Color indifferent.
And first of all, they're going to hate you anyway. But we have the right to tell the truth. And in truth, if the material attacks whites and only whites, and I'm saying the material, not the critics, the material, what else are you going to call it? It's
multiracial whiteness. Washington Post, January 2021. It doesn't attack only whites. That's like just so easy. And the thing of it is these guys are never actually going to admit or acknowledge that it doesn't attack only whites. They will never, ever, ever admit it. Because if they did, it would ruin their entire argument for everything else. And I mean, I think the other question that we need to ask ourselves is, why are these guys so offended? Why doesn't it offend their fragile sensibilities that other people that are non-white are actually impacted by critical race theory too? Why do they find this so incredibly offensive? Race indifferent, take the term color out of it. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like the indifferent term. I like the neutral term. Yeah, Kieran says, same as the CRT crowd, they love minorities until they serve no use for their agenda. That is exactly right. Christian, hey Christian. It was an impromptu stream. I'm trying to surprise people with the streams to avoid the trolls, but it's starting to die down. So maybe I'll be able to get a little bit more consistent with how I'm doing it.
Anti-white. That's what it is. We're calling it a spade a spade. And if they call you racist because of that, you can say, yeah, well, you're fucking stupid. I'm not attacking other people.
Oh, really? Oh, really? So what you're saying is that if someone makes a false accusation of you being racist, all you need to do is say, well, no, I'm not, and go on your merry way? Is that the argument that I just heard? Because if that's true, then that means I'm kind of correct when I say it might actually be worse to teach young Black children that they never have any hope of success in the world without the liberal white people lifting them up. That might actually be worse if all you can do is dismiss a false accusation of racism.
I'm just saying, you attacking my people in this material
is
anti-white. You're
my
against white.
People.
It's just not broadly they're racist, because they're not attacking other races. They're just attacking us. So it is anti-white.
No.
And then her final argument is not really an argument. It's just...
This is the one they're most offended by. My final argument is the one they're most offended by because it's directly calling them on their bullshit.
Appeal to emotion is that if you call it anti-white, somehow this will create a white power movement. And again, it's like, it's so 1970s terms or something. No one uses.
It's so funny that they like I don't know why this would be a concern. I just don't know why this would even be a concern. I don't know why anyone would be concerned about this. It's just no, don't look behind the curtain.
Carlin, I don't know if you know, no one uses the phrase white power. And most of the people.
Oh, I do know actually that you don't use the phrase white power. You know what phrases they are using though? They're using white well-being. They're using white positivity. Some of them are using white survival. Is anyone in the chat okay with there being a white well-being movement or a white positivity movement or a white lives matter movement or a white survival movement? I ain't okay with any of that. Not okay with it. Nope. Absolutely not. So you are correct, Paul, in that I do know that you are not using the term white power, but I do know all the terms you are using, or at least 4 of them.
That are against critical race theory is because they don't want their children, which are mostly white, being told they're evil because of their race. That doesn't mean they're going to go running around shouting white power or anything.
Literally, no one is telling white children they are evil because of their race. They are telling them that they're racist because of their race, but those are not the same thing. They're not the same thing. Now, I am not suggesting that it is a good thing that they're telling white children that. In fact, I have been trying to fucking stop that shit. But those are not the same thing. They're not. Sorry.
Like that, they just want to protect who they are. But in her mind, this is very interesting how she thinks. She is assuming that white people never have a right to defend their own interests, but other groups do. And for example, she works for PragerU. So
I do not work for PragerU. I have never received a paycheck from PragerU.
I'm sure she's not against calling people anti-Semitic. So again, she would call the Nazis anti.
You are absolutely correct that I'm not against calling you anti-Semitic. You are 100% correct about that. Yes. You want to know the difference? There has actually been a Holocaust that people were alive for right now against the Jewish people. There has not been a Holocaust for white people. There has not. I am sorry. And there's not going to be any time in the foreseeable future. Now, and this is honestly one of the things that's been most surprising to me about this whole kind of detour onto this little white identitarian thing, is there is actually a significant number of people I'm finding that truly believe, probably because of assholes like this, that there is going to be a white Holocaust at any moment. They really do believe it, guys. It is very, very real to them. Now, that's not going to happen anytime soon. It is not. And it's probably not going to happen at all. Because to be honest, is there a possibility way, 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 way out in the future if 18,000 things fall into place that could be an eventual reality? Sure. But that's not going to happen right now. We are not in danger of that right now. And so, but people like this are trying to spin people up to believe it. It's just not true. And we need to start saying it's just not true. Does that make critical race theory good? No. Critical race theory is not good. I don't like what's being taught. I think that it very well could lead to something like that way far off in the future, but it's not going to lead to that right now. And people need to start telling the truth about this. Dragonwater, modern society does conflate racist with evil. It's basically the dog whistle argument, which is always bad. Yeah, I understand that, but it's we also need to start getting more specific. And like I said, I'm going to start really making sure I'm behaving responsibly in this because I am very opposed to critical race theory. But I am not in favor of what this is. I am more opposed to what this is than I am. If I had to choose between the two, and I don't think that I need to choose, I am far more opposed to this guy and what he's teaching than I am critical race theory. Do these people really not understand that the CRT language about whiteness doesn't also promote harmful racist stereotypes of other groups, or do they just want a white grievance studies program? They're trying to use critical race theory to support their agenda. And supporting their agenda means that they cannot acknowledge that critical race theory is bad for everyone. They have to frame it as being anti-white. I mean, you're essentially correct. What they want is a white grievance program. You're essentially correct about that. Thank you, Robert, for joining the channel. I greatly appreciate it.
Semitic. She would never say, oh, no, we can't call anyone anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish because if we do that, then pretty soon Jews are going to go running around with saying Jewish power, Jewish power. It'll create a Jewish power.
I've actually never said anything of the sort, but you're acting a little crazy right now.
Movement in the United States if we use the term anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish. No, so we can't use those terms. She would never say that, right? She would never say that. It's only with white people that we don't have the right to defend our own interests. So, Rob, what's your
Robert says CRT is the latest way to use emotion to bring a war between the races. How else can they gain more power? That's, I do think that, well, I don't even necessarily think it's going to be a war between the races, to be honest. I think it's going to be, I think these little white identitarians are going to be involved. But to be honest, like the biggest proponents of critical race theory are white people. So I don't think this is about starting a race war as much as it is just fanning the flames of divisions. Because if we're fighting each other, we're not fighting them. It's the establishment trying to keep the people in check, more is what it is. That's why they like it.
her name again? Kaylin. I'm sorry, forgot your name. But Kaylin, the reason most people are opposed to this because they don't want their children demonized in this educational material. And we have the right as a people, as white people, to oppose that. We don't have to oppose it.
Why is it so important to him to say we as white people have the right to oppose it? That sounds a little bit fucking racist. Sounds a little bit racist. Little bit racist.
By doing this like roundabout way and saying, I think really what she's advocating, we need to do this sort of argument. No, we're opposed to critical race theory, not because it's anti-white, but it's really bad for Black people. It really does.
Actually, I'm opposed to critical race theory because I think it's bad for everyone. For everyone. And I do not believe that we should be judging people based on the color of their skin. And I do not believe that we should be forming little identitarian movements. And I do not believe we should be talking about my people anything based on the color of their skin. I think we should be treating people as individuals based on the content of their character and their contribution and how hard they work and all the other things that I was taught growing up. And nothing to do with treating people any differently based on the color of their skin. That's why I'm opposed to critical race theory. Now, you might be opposed to it because you want to say it's anti-white, it's anti-white. You might be opposed to it for that reason. But if you are not worried about the greater harm that critical race theory does to everyone, then that's a little bit racist. Yep. If you're only worried about the harm that critical race theory does to white people and you're not worried about the harm that it does to literally everyone else, that's racist.
It makes them seem silly and everything, and it hurts Asians and Hispanics, and that's the real reason. It's really racist against those people because it assumes that they can't achieve as much as white. So that's why we need to oppose it. So Carlin, her position is basically white people never have a right at all to defend their own interest, even when they're totally being attacked by genocidal language. It's like, no, we must never defend our.
See that? He's trying to convince people that there's going to be like a white Holocaust at any moment. It's so infuriating. It's so goddamn infuriating that this is what it's come to.
Ourselves by calling it what it is. We have to pretend it isn't that. We have to pretend that it's really hurting other people because we don't even.
We have to pretend that it's hurting other people. I'm not pretending. I'm not pretending that it's hurting other people. We know it's hurting other people. And why would he say if he wasn't, an actual racist, why would he say that we're pretending that it hurts other people? Why can't he just acknowledge the harm that it does to other people? Robert, the last 1.5 to 2 years really is about how to get the minority vote back to the Democratic Party. Use over-emotionalism on everyone. I mean, the video's on his channel. I literally pulled it up on his channel. We're watching it on his channel right now. I have another one, too. This isn't the only one we're going to watch. We're going to watch the other one that email was referring to because they're only 12 minutes.
We have the right to defend ourselves verbally. And this is ridiculous. This is just obscene. This, in a sense, is her what she's saying is extremely anti-white, obviously, because she wouldn't say that for any.
Because what they're saying, so what they say, guys, is that if I am not explicitly pro-white, then I am anti-white. This is why they've all been calling me Jewish in my comments for the past, couple of weeks or however long this has been going on. It feels like forever at this point. And I won't do it. I will not do it. You are not going to get me to say that this is an anti-white ideology, because it is not. Critical race theory is racist. It is racist against everyone, and there is no form of racism that is better or worse than any other form. Roddy says, I'm waiting for he calls you. I mean, he basically just did, Roddy. He basically just did. He just said I was anti-white. He basically just did.
The other group. She certainly wouldn't say that to the group of PragerU Jewish people, that they don't have a right to defend their interests against verbal attacks. I mean, you hear that all the time, that Jewish people say canard, blood libel, a trope against us. It's anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish. They do that all the time.
So now, so he went from complaining about Dennis Prager to using the Holocaust as an example to now complaining that Jewish people say things are anti-Semitic. Okay. Dragonwater says, honestly, it feels like this is an offshoot of a male issue. Men have felt like we aren't allowed to speak about issues that primarily or solely affect men unless they involve women. I don't know. I think those are two separate things. By the way, I am completely in favor of men having men's issue groups and being able to talk about men things and being able to have men clubs. I don't really care about that at all. I think that's perfectly fine. I think if women can do it, men should be able to do it.
Time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've never heard Carlin say, oh, they should never say those words because that would create a Jewish power organization or Jewish power movement. And you don't want that. We definitely don't want that. But for some reason, white people, no, we're not allowed to defend our interests specifically because it harms us. It's always got to be because, oh, it harms these people.
Defend our interests. Let's just be very clear, guys. If I am defending you from something, it will not be because of the color of your skin. It will not be because you look like me. That's not going to be the reason I defend you or have your back or stick up for you. I'm going to stick up for you because I stick up for people that I think deserve it. And those people could be white, they could be black, they could be brown, they could be Asian, they could be Native American, they could be biracial, they could be any number of things. But I will never choose to stick up for you or based on the color of your skin. And based on whether I think you're my people. That's such bullshit.
People, really. That's why we're against it. Because, oh, God forbid, we would never stand up for our own interests. Yeah, fuck off. Talk to you guys later.
Well, all right. That was interesting. That was interesting. We do have another one, though. Don't leave just yet. That's not the only one we're going to watch because they're short. And that email that I got earlier, so let me just remind you of what I'm talking about for anyone who's new that has just joined the chat. I got an email earlier today that I will show you on the screen right now from Tank McPeterson, so you know he's a super serious person, that says, I'm pretty sure the last RAMZPAUL video explains how a lot of us ex-viewers of your channel feel about CRT, although that wasn't the main topic. He did a good job of explaining how I feel, at least. So the video that we're going to watch now is the one he linked to on BitChute, but we're going to watch it on YouTube because I don't like BitChute. And so we're going to see that. Now, the very first thing that I noticed, and guys, please, if you're enjoying this, I guess it's afternoon now, this afternoon stream where I'm drinking coffee and eating sushi and reacting to actual white identitarians on the internet, please mount that like button for me, because we're going to have to counteract all of the little trolls coming afterwards to dislike the video after they wake up and get out of bed. That's all right, Dragonwater. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Let's look at this other video, and there's something I want you to notice about the video from the very beginning. The title of it, How the Gatekeepers Work. Now, I pay very close attention to the language that people's using because I find it First of all, I'm always kind of trying to figure out like where people sit in terms of like their psychological profile. And the only way you can really do that is to pay attention to the language. So this has just become like a second nature thing to me. I always pay very close attention to the specific language that people are using, because that's going to give me a lot of information about who they are and what they care about and that sort of thing. So what's funny here is this term gatekeeper. This has come up over and over and over again. This term gatekeepers. I've seen the white identitarians specifically use that word over and over. Now the Groypers don't use that word. So there's a difference. I can tell when, like, this is one of the ways I can tell the difference between the actual white identitarians and kind of like the Groyper trolls who are just being assholes. Like, this is a word that's used by the actual white identitarians, not the Groypers, not just like average everyday people on the right that aren't caught up in bullshit like this. That word specifically tells you white identitarian. So let's see what he has to say in this one.
An interesting thought.
You know what says serious person? Fucking Comic Sans. Nothing says serious person like Comic Sans.
An interesting thought experiment is, what if someone could be frozen in time and put in, let's say, a coma, and then they're reawakened into the future and they see what it's like now. For example, let's say you took George Washington or Thomas Jefferson and they were in stasis, and then you de-thaw them and they could see the world like it was now, America. They would be shocked. They would even recognize this country. I don't even think they would call it America anymore. But you don't have to go back a couple hundred years. If it's even, let's say, like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you put, let's say, the average GOP conservative and froze him and then de-thawed him. And then he looked at...
Is he about to make the argument that the ideal for the GOP is 10 or 15 fucking years ago? Is that what I'm about to hear? Okay.
What?
How many people in the chat think that the ideal state for the GOP is the GOP 10 or 15 years ago? I'm just curious. Type Y into the chat if you think 10 or 15 years ago for the GOP is like the ideal state. Type N into the chat if you're like, hell no, that's ridiculous.
What was presented as right-wing thought, he would be shocked. For example, one huge issue is the whole homosexual gay marriage agenda.
Okay. So after the election, I was going to a bunch of these like post-election, like the Million MAGA March, and I went to like some stuff in Atlanta. And so I was going to these events, and one thing that was very disturbing to me was that I started to notice that the gay haters, as I have come to dub people like Nick Fuentes and Lauren Witzke and their little followers, people like the gay haters they were starting to get more traction. They were starting to get more steam. And this I found to be really disturbing, because one of the reasons that I frankly bought into the whole Trump thing is because I don't really think he cares about whether or not people are gay. Dude hung out at Studio 54. Rick Grinnell was the first openly gay member of the cabinet. And even better, they never even talked about how he was gay. He was just like the right dude for the job. And you know, obviously like Walkaway has a lot of LGBT people in it. And so I actually like, you know, it seemed to me that the GOP was actually starting to evolve on this point, which was good. Christian, I've heard of Treehouse News' response to me. I don't plan on watching it, mostly because like I don't know who they are. Like, I don't follow YouTube stuff. You guys know this. Like, I watch very, very little YouTube, like very little. And when I do watch YouTube, I'm mostly watching stuff like, I'll watch stuff about like royal history in the UK, or like gymnastics, or like art, or other things. I don't watch politics stuff on YouTube. So I've heard about it. A lot of people are saying that I should respond to them. I have no idea who they freaking are. If you think it's worth me responding to, maybe we'll pull it up. But like, I just have no idea who they are. Anyway, so I was very much in favor of like it was actually very like invigorating for me to see that the GOP was evolving on this issue and that the right were evolving on this issue, and they were kind of saying like, yeah, we don't really care who you marry, we don't care. And so it was very disturbing to me after the election when I started noticing that the gay haters were getting a lot of steam. I was like, that's kind of like that's an issue for me. That's a problem. Now, what I've come to understand is the gay haters and this guy are like, they're the same. It's coming from the same group. I think it's worth a response. Well, dude, I don't care that she's popular. Like, I don't like her arguments are crap. I mean, I would assume her arguments probably are crap. Anyone who has responded to me, no, we're not doing a debate. I will not debate with any of these people. Absolutely not. I will absolutely not be debating with any of these people. No. Hard no. Dude, if you want to watch the video without me interrupting or responding, it's real simple. Go to his channel and watch the fucking video. This is a response video. This is a reaction. That's the whole point. Anyway, what I started to figure out was that the gay haters and like these people are exactly the same. Same group. Same group. So I'm not actually all that surprised to hear him talking about how much he hates the gays at the beginning of this video because they're the same group. Yes, what if you're not, what if you're white and gay, then you're probably not his people anymore. I think that that's probably true, but let's take a look. Let's see.
This 2008, Barack Obama, he half black president, left wing. He was opposed to gay marriage. Almost everyone in America was. It was just ridiculous to think men couldn't marry or women could marry. That's not what marriage is. But now,
Christian, Christian, can you tell me how long that Treehouse thing is? Student of history, the only context I've ever heard the term gatekeeping is from Arch and Carl Benjamin saying gatekeep your hobbies. Yeah, so I have heard the term gatekeeping a lot in the past couple weeks. A lot. And they're all coming from people like this.
You have right-wingers on Twitter that represent the GOP that I saw, they're saying, hey, this is amazing because you think about it, in 2021, the first transgender candidate for governor is a Republican, and the first openly homosexual in the NFL is a Republican. And they're bragging about that. They're saying this is good. Yeah, GOP. And they're taking this as a right-wing position. And it's like, what the hell happened? The person that was...
What the hell happened with people not giving a toss what people do in bed? Like, why is it a concern? Oh, it's 18 minutes. Okay, thank you, Christian. So maybe we'll pull up the Treehouse thing after this, if it's only 18 minutes. So why the hell not? Why don't I just kick all the fucking trees this morning? Why don't I just kick, not the trees, the hornet's nests? Why don't I just kick all the hornet's nests in one stream? But like, I mean, honestly, does anyone in the chat give a toss what people do in bed? It is not anyone's business. Why does any political party think that they have anything to gain by saying, you know what we're going to do? We're going to police who you sleep with. We're going to police who you love. We're going to police everything about your personal life and then tell you we want the government out of your business, but we're going to police who you sleep with at night. That makes no godly sense.
Was put into an ice block in 2008 and just recently de-thawed would be like, what the hell happened? How could this person claim to be a conservative or right wing? This was a radical, kooky left wing position, and now the mainstream GOP has adopted it as a core value. No, more than a core value, a value that they hold more dear than even those demo rats. It's just astounding. And if
I definitely take people seriously when they use the term demo rat or libtard.
If you look through history in this country, it's really by design. And you think a lot of times the people that push us on the vanguard, let's say the extreme kooky leftist, they're the ones that make this happen. Not really. They serve a function. They're like the vanguard, but the people that really normalize it are the people on the so-called right. And I say so.
Okay. I'm about to call bullshit on this email that I got. So I want to show I want to point something out. So you know how that email was like, this will explain to you, this video will explain to you why your longtime viewers are being turned off by you. Dude, if you believe that LGBT people don't belong on the right, you are not one of my longtime viewers. I'm sorry. Like, that is just a lie. I toured with the goddamn Walkaway campaign for 6 fucking months. I have no problem with LGBT people. And if you think I do, then you are not one of my longtime viewers.
Called, but they're like the GOP establishment. They
Thank
are
you,
the
Christian.
ones that make it happen, that make it mainstream. And they do this in a specific way. And we're seeing this now with this whole CRT debate, but we saw this before with like the whole homosexual marriage and all that type of stuff, and so many other issues that used to be considered extreme left-wing that now the GOP embraces. And they have a specific strategy on how they do this. And we're seeing this now with CRT, but I just want to kind of break down. From above, they do have specific steps. So let's take a look at the specific steps that they use to take a position that they initially act like they're opposing, but then they end up embracing. How this process works is typically the far left, people that we would consider to be kooky, most Americans, comes up with a weird proposal that just seems outlandish. It's like, whoa, how can good people even think of such a concept, whatever it may be? And
what is he even talking about right now? I'm so confused about I'm so confused about what he's even talking about.
The mainstream GOP, they notice this when there's a big populist uprising or reaction to this proposal that just seems so absurd.
Well, okay, so people are saying he straightened the pictures. No, he didn't, though, because this picture is still, like, weird. This picture behind him is still wonky. And, like, when you have lines on the wall, dude, like, I'm sure all the pictures behind me aren't perfectly straight, but I don't have fucking lines on the wall either. It's gonna bother me the whole rest of the time of this video.
Immediately, the mainstream right or the GOP, they get together, and they do sometimes literally get together, and they discuss their strategy. And what they do is they send out their big names and they get in front of the issue and they attack what the kooky left is doing. And you see this with people like Ben.
Why do I have a feeling that this entire stream today is basically going to illustrate why I do not watch YouTube? I may make content on YouTube, but I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube. And I feel like the videos I'm going to watch today are just a shining example of why, like, you guys, I appreciate everyone here who watches these reaction videos about me and, like, tells me about them, because you are doing the Lord's work. I don't understand why any of this is appealing at all.
Shapiro or Jordan Peterson. You remember Ben Shapiro? He'd be out there debating some freshman girl with purple hair that calls herself non-binary, and he will just totally own her, and it'd be on a video and it'll go viral with many millions of views, and conservatives and GOP types and just normal people will see that and like, yeah, way to go, Ben, check this out. Ben just owned this girl, man. He just destroyed her with facts and logic. She was reduced to tears. You saw that with Jordan Peterson when he was talking about compelled speech with all these silly pronouns.
When did Jordan Peterson reduce people to tears?
He was on a debate with some woman, I forget her name, from England, the BBC or something, and he just like totally owned her. And that video also went viral, got millions of views. And what's really interesting is these big tech companies, they support the left. So they kind of support the kooky position right off the bat. But curiously, they don't ban people like Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson, or even limit their video reach via the algorithms. In fact, they're happy to promote it, which seems kind of strange. Why would they promote something like this if they're opposed to it? And they say, oh, well, we're just being fair. We're just fair. We like to get...
Dude, you have almost 75,000 subscribers on YouTube. You are not a poor, underserved, like, you know, victim of the system. You have an audience of 75,000 people. That might not be a lot in terms of YouTube, in terms of like comparing to some of the bigger accounts. But that's a lot of fucking people. I have 110,000 on here. That's a lot of fucking people. That's a big audience. Like you have absolute. I'm sorry, and YouTube has fucked with my channel too. But you have absolutely no business complaining about being suppressed when you have 75,000 people. That's just a lack of goddamn gratitude. TPS, best hope for challenging CT extreme is BIPOC and LGBT people who descend from CRT and C gender T. Left will ignore straight. No, I don't agree with that. I mean, I do think there is absolutely something to be said for excuse me, like non-white people like speaking out against CRT. I think that that's really beneficial. But I also think that that like I don't think that people with reasonable arguments, with reasonable positions are going to be just ignored. I think people like this make us look crazy. I don't know who you are. And so, no, you can watch my channel to learn about my position. I have over 700 videos on this channel. My position has really not changed all that much. Maybe evolved on a couple minor issues, but my position is pretty similar. So if you really want to know my position, then you can watch these 700 plus videos that I have on my channel.
Right-wing voices too. So you see this right away. We get certain people that claim to be the leaders of the opposition. And this is a key point. So they see a backlash to something that the left comes up with, whatever the subject may be, and they immediately jump in, get something that goes viral, and they claim to be the resistance to this kooky idea. The concern.
Yeah, congratulations on 250,000 subs. I still don't know who you are, and there are still 750 videos on my channel that you can watch if you want to know my position. Watch the videos on my channel, and if you want to keep being a jackass in my chat, I'm allowing you to be here, but I will block your ass and just remove you from the situation entirely. You're here because I'm allowing you to be here right now. Be polite. I have 700 plus videos on my channel. You want to know my position? Go and watch. Do your homework. Do your fucking homework. You are not entitled to a conversation with me. Sorry. God.
Troll phase, and in case you don't know what concerned troll is, it's an expression for someone that pretends to be on your side, and they act so concerned. They want you to be successful. They really care about your well-being, but they're giving you advice how to get to that point. That's their only motivation. They have a pure heart, no other agenda, when they secretly have another agenda. Concern trolling. And the same people that jumped ahead of this issue and got millions of views and is now acting as the opposition to this bad thing that the left came up with, well, now they go to the people that they attracted because they have a big audience, and they start to act real concerned. They're like, oh, yeah, we know what the left is proposing is horrible. It's immoral. It hurts you. It hurts your families. We get it. We get it. We're on your side. Believe me, we're totally against it. It's horrifying. But just let me give you guys some advice here, okay? You don't want to do anything that's going to make you seem too extreme. We need to attack it in a reasonable way. That's the best way.
So is he making the argument that being extreme and alarmist and scaring people is really the best way to go? Is that the argument that he's making? Is that, you know, extremism is the best way to win the day? Okay.
To do this. Believe me, I know how to do this. We're experts at this. So don't let your...
Yeah, pineapple on pizza sucks, and I don't care who knows it. I'm responding to the chat right now. Pineapple on pizza sucks, and anyone who likes pineapple on pizza is a terrorist. It doesn't suck as bad as mayo does, but it like not like mayonnaise in general, not just on pizza. But pineapple on pizza is like not good.
Your rhetoric get too extreme. We need to be measured. We don't want to really attack the premise of the argument. We want to be kind of subtle about how we do this. And again, we're in this phase now with the CRT where they're saying, oh, you don't want to say the word anti-white. That's too scary. We want to say CRT's bad because it's Marxist, or, you know, it actually hurts blacks and Asians and Jews.
Again, like, why are these people so offended? Why are they so offended at the idea that critical race theory might hurt other people that don't look like them? Because I don't find that to be particularly offensive. Perhaps it's because I care about people for the content of their character and not for the color of their skin. And I'm not going to make judgments or arguments about people based on the freaking color of their skin and say it's okay for it to hurt this group because they look like me, but it's, like, whatever. Like, I mean, my God, it makes no sense at all. Also, I'm really distracted by the discussion of, like, pineapple on pizza in the chat right now. Yeah, seems like most people agree with me. Ugh. Critical pineapple on pizza theory. I don't know about that. Thank you, Ibra.
Jewish people, that's how we have to do it. So, hey, we understand this is really bad for you and your families, but just trust us on this. Don't say anything too
I actually had, Caleb says I dislike mushrooms. When I was in LA over the weekend, I had an awesome truffle pizza with, like, arugula on it. It was delicious. It was awesome.
extreme that is like standing up for your own people. No, that's not the way. We just need to soften the message. That's how it needs to work.
This unforgettable vacation.
Oh God, I'm giving him ad dollars.
Here. This
skip.
After that phase, you'll start to notice that these same people that initially came out in opposition to whatever the kooky thing the left came out with, they are now spending their whole time attacking people on the right. They never even address the original issue. They don't seem to really care about it. They're just focused on the bad people on the right that are not softening their message and making their message nicer like they...
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I hope that this guy does not soften his message. I hope that this guy says exactly what he thinks. Paul, I would like for you to say exactly what you think, because I think you're softening your message in this video, Paul. I think you are absolutely softening it so it'll be more palatable and so you won't get your ass banned on YouTube. I would love for you to say exactly what you think, because I don't think you're saying it in this video. I want to hear you say exactly what you think. I fucking triple dog dare you to post a video saying exactly what you think. And you know what that is, and I know what that is. And if you don't do it, you're a weak, miserable coward, which we all know you are anyway. We all know you are anyway. All Lives Matter in response to BLM is analogous to CRT hurts all people instead of anti-white. Yes, that is exactly correct, Shannon. That's exactly correct. If you preferred All Lives Matter to Black Lives Matter, then it is the only consistent position for you to take is to say CRT is racist, not CRT is anti-white. That's the only consistent position.
Think it should be. In fact, they take it one step further and they say anyone that doesn't argue like we say they need to argue, they're probably really secret white supremacists or Nazis, and we have no room for them.
Oh, I don't think it's a secret what you are. I think you're saying it out loud very, very clearly when you're talking about our people.
Them. So if you don't want to be a white supremacist or Nazi, you don't want to be that, right? That's like ultimate evil. No, of course you don't want to be that. So you got to take our position. And so don't, like for the CRT.
Why is he arguing in favor of people behaving like white supremacists and Nazis? Why is he arguing in favor of that? I think that that's a pretty bad idea.
Thing, don't mention the anti-white bit. No. Just do what we're saying. But the people that do, you don't want to be on those people, because if you are, you're evil.
Listen, Aaron, mushrooms and truffles are delicious. Truffles more than mushrooms. Like, truffles, dude, truffles are fucking good. Black truffles are even best. Yeah, I said it. Black truffles are better than white truffles. Black truffles matter.
And then big tech starts censoring the people that don't soften the message. And these so-called leaders on the GOP, the mainstream right, they don't really care. They're silent about the whole issue. And they think this is a good thing because they're making the opposition much more reasonable and respectable. But again, what's curious about this is at this point, these people are no longer attacking the original attack against us, the original issue that the left is pushing. They've kind of forgot about that. They're just trying to tone police and to try to...
Robert, that's not Robert. Robert asked, "What's my position on bacon? Not the Canadian variety. I'm a fan of bacon. Bacon is only extra crispy though. I'm not a fan of like little limp bacon. Like I'm sure Paul is a very big fan of limp bacon, but I'm not. I like very, very crispy bacon myself."
To control the right's response to the proposal. The next step is compromise. Again, these original people that got out in front of the issue and acted as the official opposition, now they're spending their time never attacking the left's position. They've been spending their time attacking the right. But now they come out and say,
"Did I accidentally rewind?
It's always the right moves left." That it's like when you ratchet something up, it only goes one direction. And these people on the right who act as gatekeepers, they ratchet us up or towards the left. That is their purpose.
Hang on. I'm confused. I accidentally rewound and I got confused. Hang on.
When this happens, the left never moves over towards us on the compromise. We'll get in with CRT. They'll try to make a compromise. Like, well, you know, the really extreme anti-white rhetoric, maybe we should tone that down. Maybe we should call it something else because CRT has bad optics now. But maybe if we get a compromise, that would be a good thing. And that's what they do. So they start to...
When have I ever argued for a compromise on CRT? I was trying to fucking pass a law banning it. When have I ever argued for a compromise? This guy makes no sense. How does this guy have almost 75,000 subscribers? He makes no sense.
Agree with the premise of the left. It's just that the left is too extreme. But you always notice when this happens, the left never moves over towards us on the compromise. It's always the right moves left. That it's like when you ratchet something up, it only goes one direction. And these people on the right who act as gatekeepers, they ratchet us up or towards the left. That is their purpose. And then you get the final phase, which we're in with the LGBTQ agenda, where the GOP and the respectable right, they've totally caved in and they agree with 100% on the left. And in fact, they try to virtue signal that they've always held those positions and they hold those positions more consistently than the left. And that's where we get the stage now with the LGBTQ, with Caitlyn Jenner and that gay NFL player. And, Trump, he waved the LGBTQ flag. He was always one of the biggest pro-LGBTQ guys ever. So they're saying this thing.
This guy right here is the epitome of why the GOP will not be retaining so many votes they won for Trump in 2020. Because of shit like this. Because they allow this stuff to continue and they don't call it out because they're like, we want to be nice. We don't like conflict. Like, they're going to lose so many votes. They're going to lose, and they're going to lose big time, and they don't even realize it.
That they used to oppose for...
The only thing that might save the GOP in 2022, I think, is the fact that gas prices are through the roof. I really think that is like the GOP should thank God that Biden is taking the economy, because it is the only thing that would save them from like actually like not getting their asses kicked in 2022. I truly believe that. I really think that there's no other reason to vote for the GOP other than like getting like some sort of check on the goddamn economy. That's it.
for principal reasons, now they consider a core value. In fact, they worship these core values better than the Democrats.
That's not to say I think you should vote for the Democrats either. Like, I'm going to probably either vote Libertarian or not vote. That's my position on it. I do not plan on voting for either the GOP or the freaking Democrats in 2022. At least not as it stands right now.
This is how we get there. So it's a planned process. They have steps to do this. So this is basically how the process works. And again, it's not like some big conspiracy where everyone gets together in a back room and maps this all out. But the top people do get together. They do discuss this. Like CRT, I guess they meant Montana to have this discussion, how they should address this.
Yeah, people seem to think I was at that Montana meeting. I was not at that Montana meeting. Like, I know James Lindsay was, Peter Boghossian was, I think Melissa Chen was, Rufo was. But, like, I mean, just so, like, dispel any rumors, I was not at the Montana meeting, so I had nothing to do with that.
And they do go through this process, these phases. And what happens is the people that are not on the A list, but are kind of a little bit below, they don't have to get like a memo or anything. They just see what's happening. They see which way it's moving, and they just follow along. So
actually, what I do is I form my own fucking opinions, and then I say what I want to say. That's what I do. I form my own opinions, and I say what I want to say. And sometimes I agree with Rufo and Lindsay, and sometimes I don't.
Again, initially they get on the bandwagon to be 100% against whatever the left comes out with. But then they see from the thought leaders like, oh, well, wait a minute. We don't want to get it too extreme here. And we got to look at this a more nuanced sort of way. And then they start to say, well, the important thing is we got to keep out the people that are mean-spirited.
So basically he's saying that anyone that does not take the... Like, isn't he trying to do a form of gatekeeping? Isn't he basically saying that, like, anyone who doesn't agree with me in my position is a gatekeeper? Isn't that a form of gatekeeping in and of itself? I'm just saying, all right, I'm kind of bored with this video. I don't know who else is bored with this video, but, like, I'm kind of over this one. Do you guys want to watch the Treehouse one? Should we do one more? Christian sent me the Treehouse one. Type Y into the chat if you want me to watch the Treehouse one. And we'll do that. Otherwise, I'll bounce and go do some real work. But if you guys want to watch the Treehouse one, we can. I have it pulled up. Yeah, okay. Now, again, I want to say, I literally have no idea who this person is. I have no idea. Shannon says, free Britney Spears, especially the implications for the rest of us. A court shouldn't be able to decide if you can have kids. I agree with that. All right. I'm going to give you guys this little gift of watching the Treehouse one. We'll see. It's even got my name in it, man. I guess, you know, they wanted a response. I have no idea who this person is. As you guys know, I do not pay attention to YouTube most of the time. But a lot of people have been telling me about this video. And so why not? Oh, there's fucking ads. Maybe I can refresh it and get like a non-ad version. Ugh.
In the next 60 seconds, I'm going to show you how to naturally control blood sugar and naturally increase insulin sensitivity.
Oh, it's only 4. Wait. It's only...
What's up, taters?
Oh, there I am. Oh. This person... I'm just going to say it. This person already screams grifter to me. This person already fucking screams grifter. You can tell, like... I'm sorry. Like, there's a certain vibe that, like, legitimate grifters have. There's a certain vibe. And she has that fucking vibe already. Yeah, I know I should, Jaya, but I don't watch enough YouTube for it to be... I just don't watch... I just don't. Oh, she called... Oh, am I supposed to be surprised that a grifter is projecting their grift onto me? Like, must be a day that ends in Y. I can't use the Brave browser if I'm playing the audio in StreamYard. Like, I can't use Brave for that. I can only use Chrome. Chrome is the only thing that works with StreamYard. Yeah, I agree. You know, like, anytime you see like the classic kind of like, oh, you just screams fucking grifter. Screams fucking grifter. Okay, let's dig into it.
This is Tree from treeoflogic.com.
That picture was taken. I'll tell you exactly when that picture was taken. That picture was taken on my way back from Milwaukee when I got kicked out of that hotel for the MAGA mask. That picture was taken in like an airport club or something, like a Delta club, when I was coming back from Milwaukee. So when I was wearing that MAGA mask everywhere, I loved that MAGA mask. That MAGA mask was the only mask, like regardless of what it actually said on it, I loved pissing people off. But like that MAGA mask was like the only mask I could breathe in. It was perfect. It like laid so perfectly where it just fell. Like I had all this space to breathe. It didn't wrap under my chin. I fucking loved that MAGA mask. I still do have it somewhere, but not wearing it much anymore.
And I just want to do, oh my God, let's see if I can do a quick one, a quick reply.
A quick one. I'll do a quick reply to you. She can't even bother to pronounce my name accurately. Treehouse News doesn't know how to fucking Google. Yeah, I can already tell. I'm like, I've had my coffee now, guys. I can already tell, like, I like obvious fucking grifter. I'm gonna be mocking I'm gonna rip this woman relentlessly. Relentlessly. We're turning up the fucking heat on this one. I've had my coffee. It's kicking in. I had my breakfast. I suffered through that other goddamn white identitarian. Let's go in the other direction. Let's do it.
Maybe I'm not pronouncing your name correctly.
No, you are not.
But this is a grifter that the conservatives have embraced as a speaking, as a voice for the walkaway movement. Walkaway
is not a conservative movement. Walkaway is about leaving the Democrats, not necessarily about becoming a conservative. Walkaway is about the journey, not about the destination. He's a grifter!
For those who voted for Trump. We have seen more grifters come on this side just because they said things that you all liked. I never trust these people. I call them out all the time, and I'm about to do that now. Hopefully.
Oh, honey. So I'm actually curious. Does this woman do anything except complain on YouTube? Does this, I mean, I'm deadly serious. I'm asking in the chat because I have no idea who this person is. Does this woman do anything except for complain on YouTube? Does she do anything? Did she do any rallies in 2020 to try to get Trump elected? Did she give up 6 months of her life to travel all over the place doing rallies to try to mobilize people? Has she tried to pass any legislation related to critical race theory? Has she started any communities for the specific purpose of helping people? Does this woman do anything except complain on YouTube? I'm honestly asking. Because for me, complaining on YouTube is like a very small piece of what I do. And I think most of you guys know that. So, really, really asking for anyone who's familiar that watches more YouTube than I do. Because, you know what? I get kind of sick of it when these people who literally do nothing, they're like, I have a podcast. I have a podcast. Everyone and their fucking mother has a podcast. And then they say, they call everyone else a grifter when people are actually out there trying to do shit and organize and get people going. And all they do is fucking complain on YouTube all day. And they're like, everyone else is a grifter but me.
Hopefully I can make this video as quick as possible.
Yeah, I think, like, RJ, like, Dr. K, I don't understand why are you accused of being a voice for conservatives? This is really confusing to me as well, since I have literally never said I was a conservative. Like, if conservatives want to listen to me, fine, man. I don't have a problem with most conservatives, but fucking look at me, man. I am not a conservative. Yeah, okay, so people in the chat are basically saying that this woman does nothing but complain on YouTube.
Because she did a 13-minute and 33-second rant on how critical race theory is not anti-white.
Oh, she did a rant. Oh my God. What is wrong with these people? Okay, this is a woman, right? Like, I'm not wrong about that. Because someone please tell me if I'm wrong or misgendering or something. Because, like, honestly, I'm pretty sure. I hate to be like that last guy, but honestly, like, I am honestly, like, I'm honestly not sure on this one. I'm not trying to make a joke. I'm really not sure.
The nerve.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Are you serious? The title of the video says stop.
Are you serious? She did a 13-minute video. Her video responding to me is 18 minutes. Jesus Christ. Are you serious? Treehouse News, you did an 18-minute video responding to me. Are you serious?
Referring to critical race theory as anti-white. It's not only wrong, it's dangerous.
Yep.
Lies. Okay, all right. I want to actually go to...
Oh, she needs to look up a dictionary definition to define critical race theory, probably because she doesn't know what critical race theory is. Guys, let's do our definition of critical race theory. Critical race theory is an ideology that started in academia in the 1970s that says that everything, every interaction, every system, every institution is fundamentally racist, and the job, or that racism exists everywhere in everything, in every institution, in every interaction, and that the job of the critical race theorist is to suss out how racism occurred in any given circumstance. It is not to suss out if racism occurred, it is to suss out how racism occurred, because racism is assumed. That is the definition of critical race theory, and girl, I didn't need the dictionary in order to do it. So if you need the dictionary to look up a definition of critical race theory to try to school me, you probably don't know what you're fucking talking about. Yes, I am being beyond petty. I am. I've had my coffee. Yeah, all women, 6 foot tall, ex-cop martial artist, apparently. Oh, well, that makes all the sense. That's why the Blue Lives Matter flag. That's why the Blue Lives Matter flag. All right, all right. It's always the ex-cops that are the grifters. Just like fucking Brandon Tatum. I swear. And the reason I say that, guys, is because Brandon Tatum blatantly talks shit about Brandon Strzok, and you don't fucking talk shit about Brandon Strzok without getting a response from me. I will always have Brandon Strzok's back. Always. Every single day. Every day. Like, you guys want me to debate this person when they have to look up the dictionary definition of critical race theory, and you think that that's even something that is interesting to me in terms of a debate? If you cannot define critical race theory off the top of your head, I'm sorry, you are beneath me on this fucking issue. Artemisa, you are not wrong about CRT. Plus, I can vouch that you are not a conservative, and Artemisa is a conservative, so she would know. All right.
Britannica.com to give you the official definition.
That's not the official definition of critical race theory, just because she looked at... Dude. She looked it up on Britannica.com. She looked it up in the fucking encyclopedia. Being mouthy online is easier than getting out in the real world and actually trying to make a difference. Do it in your community first, online later. That is exactly right. The easiest way you're going to be able to make a difference on critical race theory is by working in your local community. I'll use whatever words I like, and when she's doing a video calling me a grifter and projecting her own grift onto me, I will be very clear about what I think. When she's looking up the definition of critical race theory in the fucking encyclopedia and then acting like she's gonna school me on what critical race theory is, If you can't say the definition off the top of your head, you have no goddamn idea what you're talking about, and you need to go back to school.
Of critical.
When was the last time you used the encyclopedia? Because for me, it was probably the 8th goddamn grade. The 8th grade is probably the last time I even bothered to look up anything in the encyclopedia, when I was 13 years old.
Race theory, because I want you to understand that she's actually being true to herself. She's actually acting like a typical liberal, redefining terms, redefining words, lying by omission.
P.S. My definition of critical race theory has been endorsed by James Lindsay, so I'm pretty sure we can't say that for whatever definition this woman is going to come up with.
And also blatantly lying, and I'm going to show that. I'm not going to show all of the video. It's too long for me. She tells a lot of lies in this, but I welcome her.
She tells a lot of lies. I'm not going to show them. I'm not going to show them. I'm not going to show that. But she tells a lot of lies, and I'm going to look up the encyclopedia definition of critical race theory to show you that I'm not going to show you the lies she's saying, but I'm going to look up the encyclopedia definition of critical race theory. Are you fucking kidding me? Why do these people have credibility? I don't understand. I don't understand. This is why I don't watch YouTube.
Her to contact me for a one-on-one debate.
No. No, girl. No. Honey. Honey. Do me a favor. Do a single video where you are defining critical race theory off the top of your head without looking it up in the encyclopedia and earn your spot in a debate with me about critical race theory. I would wipe the floor with this fucking woman, but it's not going to happen because I'm not going to do that shit. But like that, the whole idea of this is absolutely absurd.
About this, critical race theory is anti-white, and I can prove it. And I noticed
she
that
didn't even read the
people.
Did you guys notice she didn't even read the encyclopedia definition of critical race theory that she pulled up herself? Pulled up the definition, didn't even bother to read it. She's like, critical race theory is anti-white, and I can prove it. I can prove it. Okay.
Disagree with you, and actually bring.
I am getting a little uppity right now. I have like I don't know what the hell got into me. But I am definitely getting a little bit more uppity right now than I was for the first one. Well, bing. I love blocking trolls in the chat. It's like the best.
You valid arguments and proof that critical race theory is anti-white. You just shut them down by calling them names like white supremacists, neo-Nazis, racist, a typical thing that liberals do. And this is what happens when you bring these people on our side. I told you we don't need their vote. This woman did not vote for Trump in 2016, but you're
right, I didn't. And this is the thing about people like this is like one of the things about people like this is they really don't seem to understand that elections require votes. Winning elections requires getting more votes. And so if you say that we don't need your vote to win, honey, how'd you do in the last election? And now you're going to just say, go away. We don't want your votes. The right is going to lose every single goddamn election because of people like this. And I really don't understand why they're more pissed off. I don't understand. Like, it is literally no secret who I voted for in 2016. My God.
Griff was strong. The Griff was strong last year, and here she is with a gazillion others just like her. So let's get to the definition of critical race theory.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so here we go.
Let's let you read it out of the encyclopedia to show exactly how much you don't know about critical race theory. Let me just give the proper definition again, as blessed by James Lindsay at some point. Critical race theory is an academic ideology that started in the 1970s that says that racism exists everywhere, in everything, in every person, in every interaction, and the job of the critical race theorist is to suss out how, not if, how racism occurred in any given circumstance. The racism is always assumed to have occurred, and that's what they look for as their starting point. Now let's see what the encyclopedia has to say. Because we can't come up with our own definition. We have to use the encyclopedia because we're really not that smart, right, Treehouse News?
CRT is an intellectual movement and loosely organized framework of legal analysis based on
that started in academia in law schools in the 1970s. So far, the encyclopedia definition that she's reading agrees with exactly what I said.
Premise that race is not a natural, biological, grounded feature of physically distinct subgroups of human beings, but a socially constructed, and in parentheses, it has culturally invented.
Yeah, that's a component of critical race theory, but it's really not the most important component in terms of how it's put into practice. So what they're saying there is that race is socially constructed, which I don't really understand, because the thing, that's how they get to the point where they say that white people are socialized to be racist, is that racism is socially constructed, or that race is socially constructed. But here's what I don't understand about that. Is melanin a real thing? Like, is melanin socially constructed? Because this woman has a lot more melanin in her skin than I do in mine. Is that socially constructed? See, this is the difference between someone who knows what they're talking about and has watched thousands of hours of critical race theory training and someone who's literally reading the definition out of an encyclopedia. That's the difference.
category that is used to oppress and exploit people of color. Critical race theorists hold that the law and legal institutions in the United States are inherently racist.
That's literally what I said.
So far as they
literally what I
to
said.
create and maintain social, economic, and political inequalities between whites and non-whites, especially African Americans. Now we understand. I hate that term, African American.
So this definition is more or less exactly what I said critical race theory was. And by the way, the video she's reacting to, I also used the same definition of critical race theory in that video. So I'm literally right, is what she's saying. Except she's got a video saying you're wrong about CRT because she doesn't understand what she's talking about. And she doesn't understand because she doesn't understand what she's talking about. She doesn't get that the definition she just read out of the Encyclopedia Britannica is basically the same thing that I said it was off the top of my head, a definition that I wrote based on James Lindsay's work. Nah.
Nothing inherent about, there's nothing hyphenated about my nationality. My nationality is American. Now, if you want to know my ethnicity, you can say black, but I have descendants from Scandinavia. I have descendants from South America, and I have descendants from West Africa. So to sit up here and just disregard the other my other ancestors and say that I'm just African American, that's just false. But I'm not going to get into that. Go check out my video stating 5 reasons why I'm not African American. My nationality is American, okay? So here we go. Let's go ahead and see if I can. I'm not going to go through the entire video. I'll probably go through 2 minutes and then we'll move on. But if
I'm not going to go through the part of the video where she correctly defines critical race theory because I pulled up the Encyclopedia Britannica and read a definition that is more or less exactly what she said critical race theory was, but that doesn't work very well in a video where I'm trying to say that she's wrong.
If Carolyn would like to accept my invitation to have a debate about this, I will welcome you with open arms. I am not confrontational. My debates, provided that you come reasonable.
Oh, honey. If you need the encyclopedia, I'm going to say this again. If you need the encyclopedia to define critical race theory, you and I are not on the same level. We're not on the same level. Why would I lower myself to even speak to someone who cannot define critical race theory off the top of their head after putting in thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of work? Why would I lower myself to speak with someone about this topic when all you do is sit in front of a webcam and make videos complaining on the internet while I'm out actually trying to pass laws against critical race theory, while I'm out trying to actually get laws for educational transparency, to get laws for cameras in classrooms? Why would I lower myself to speak to you? No.
Provided that you don't come in.
The only reason I'm even doing this reaction is because Christian asked me to, and Christian's a good dude. That's it. That is the only reason you are taking up any room in my head at all, because someone else asked me to react to this. Valerie says, can you play her video? No, I'm not. No. Valerie, if you want to go watch her video, go watch it. This is a reaction video. No. I appreciate you love my channel. I appreciate the $5. But no, I will react to the video as I react to the video. That's what a reaction video is.
There.
Well, she did back it up. She pulled up the encyclopedia.
Hot with name calling, and if you come in good faith, me and you gonna be Gucci, girl.
Okay, listen, we need to have a serious conversation about something that's. We're not doing this.
Race theory is saying that you as a by all means.
Sorry, I'm gonna skip over my bit because we already know what I said.
Is
movement. You need to stop right now.
Okay, so the thing about it is that critical race theory is anti-white. To say it isn't, it just makes you disingenuous. But yes, by all means, critical race theory is saying that you as a white woman, you are oppressing me as a black woman.
Well, that actually seems kind of racist towards you as a black woman, doesn't it? Because if I have the power to oppress you And if you truly believe that I have the power to keep you down, that seems kind of fucking racist, because I actually believe that black people have, and black people, brown people, whatever the fuck, like, I believe that regardless of your skin color, you have the ability to achieve whatever you want to do in this world through hard work, through persistence, through consistency, through showing up. And if you actually believe that I have the power to keep you down, that's a little fucking racist. Rama says CRT is racist. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Even I from the South, India, can say it's definitely, and I've read material on it. You are right. Carlin, yes, it is racist against everyone.
And that you are inherently racist.
You need to stop. Yes, and it also says that you can't succeed. It also says that you as a black woman cannot succeed in the world. That is inherently racist. It also says you as a black woman can't tell time, can't work hard, can't go to the DMV and get an ID. Critical race theory says all of these things, Treehouse News. I don't even know her real name. Like, that's what it says. So that, to me, a little bit racist. It is not. Oh, fuck. That was a mistake.
In the next
I didn't mean
60
to do
seconds,
that.
I'm going to show you how
God
to naturally
damn
control
it!
blood sugar and naturally increase insulin sensitivity.
Not helpful. It is not.
Theory. To tell us how we should fight critical race theory. And I would love to.
Wait. To advance this fight. It is not going to win anything.
How do you know?
How do I know? How do I know? How do I know? Because for the past 6 months, I was working to try to get a law passed banning it in New Hampshire. I've testified in 2 different states in favor of laws. How do I know? How do I know how to fight? What have you done?
Like, who are you?
I'm a woman that's done more than you have.
Who are you to tell us how we should fight critical race theory?
I am literally writing a book on this topic right now. I am literally finishing a fucking book on this topic right now. Who am I? A person that's actually done stuff rather than complain on the internet. God damn these fucking grifters.
And I would love to see how you try to just poo-poo my arguments, because if you notice, I'm not.
You haven't made a single argument yet. You pulled up a definition from Encyclopedia Britannica. You have made 0 arguments.
White. This is my real hair. These are dreadlocks.
Congratulations.
Okay? This is skin. It don't come off. This ain't no.
Congratulations. Congratulations, you're black. That doesn't mean you're fighting critical race theory.
I am black.
Congratulations.
Right? The majority of my ancestors are from the Negroid, okay? So the thing about it is I am black, so there's nothing white supremacist about me. So
I didn't say you were. These people are such idiots. Like, I'm sorry. This woman is not smart, and that's not because she's black. She's just not a smart person.
How are you going to sit?
Yeah, exactly. Her first argument is literally, I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. That's like her first argument. I don't understand.
Here and say that me as a black woman actually speaking out against critical race theory is not going to be effective, even if I do agree that it's anti-white. Girl, how are you?
She's literally making stuff up that I never said. Like, people want me to debate her. She's literally making stuff up that I didn't say. Why would I debate someone that is like just like inventing reality? That makes no sense.
You're making these claims without justifying and proving them.
Can we just listen to that last little bit again? Can we?
Girl, how are you making these claims without justifying and proving them?
You want to know what projection looks like? It looks like someone who just spent the first half of her video making shit up and then saying, girl, how are you making these claims without justifying and proving them? Yeah, exactly. How dare I share an opinion on my channel? you're going to end up doing is creating an actual country. By the way, I'm not the only one that's been concerned about this. Many of the people fighting critical race theory that are far smarter than this woman have been concerned about this for a while. I've been talking about the fact how I thought that this was going to turn into a white identitarian thing for about a year now. Yeah. God.
She's saying that because I am a, hold on, how does that make sense? Because I am a black woman who says, yeah, critical race theory is anti-white, it's going to create new Klansman movements. It's going to create new Aryan Nation chapters. It's going to create new white power movements. How? You made a claim.
Tell me, honey, what claim I made. Tell me. What claim did I make? Because I've never said anything about you. Literally have never said anything about you. Don't even know who you are. Have no fucking clue who you are or why you're even in this fucking game.
Actually, not in that order. You have to prove the claim and justify it.
What claim did I make? What claim did I make? I'm still waiting for this piece of information about what claim I specifically made.
You made an outrageous claim. And you're not even going to prove it. That's what these liberals do. These liberals just...
You can't even state the claim you think I made. You're talking about me making an outrageous claim? You aren't even stating the claim you think I made.
Throw a claim out there and expect you to accept it. You're gaslighting me right now. And you're saying that because I speak out against it.
This woman of her own volition is watching a video of me and claiming I'm actively gaslighting her when I have no idea who she is. If you think I'm gaslighting you, just turn off the video. Aren't conservatives supposed to be the ones that are concerned about personal responsibility? If you think I'm gaslighting you, exercise some personal responsibility and turn off the video. But Carlin, you don't understand her argument. She is black. I can see that. I can see that, indeed. When did conservatives become the party of like personal responsibility, except if we want to whine about something? Because that's really what it seems like to me. It's all about personal responsibility until they want to whine and complain endlessly and make things up.
And I agree that it's anti-white that's going to form white power movements. Girl, stop it. Get help.
And that's honey, you don't even know the definition of critical race theory. I'm not the one who needs help. Not even the only reason. The first reason that we shouldn't be framing this as an anti-white
I'm so sick of seeing myself talk. Oh my God.
Is Carolyn? Is it pro-white? Is it saying white power? Okay. You even hold on. I just realized.
Wait, she edited this? She didn't even do this in one take. Oh my God, these people are so incompetent. Hang on.
Okay. Is it pro-white?
Like, I'm sorry. If you can't do a fucking reaction video in one take without editing it, then like, why do I care? The first reason that we shouldn't be framing this as an anti-white thing is because it's not true.
It is true. Is it pro-white, Carolyn? Is it pro-white? Is it saying white power? Okay.
That doesn't even make any sense. We don't need to choose between pro-white or anti-white. There are actually other positions that are not pro-white and anti-white. Like being colorblind, not treating people based on the color of their skin. Oh my God.
You even, hold on, I just realized something. If you're saying, oh my God, it just hit me. If you're saying that saying something is
You think this woman isn't grifting to these white identitarians with this video? Of course she is.
white is going to create white power movements, then that means you agree that CRT is anti-white. Because the other side of white power movements, which is pro-white, is anti-white. So you just owned yourself.
This woman literally thinks that there are only two positions in the world, and one is pro-white and one is anti-white. That's literally what we're talking about right now. Isn't that exactly the same as like the anti-racist saying either you are racist or you are actively anti-racist? It is exactly the same thing. They are literally using the exact same arguments as the woke left. My next book, after I finish the book about fighting back against critical race theory, is going to be called Woke on the Right. That's what it's going to be called. Edward X. Winston says, none of these people ever do a modicum of research first. No, they don't. No. They do not do research at all. They do not.
You just admitted that CRT is anti-white.
Why am I the one that's always accused of being overly emotional when this woman is screaming into the microphone about something being pro-white or anti-white? Why am I the one that's accused of being overly emotional? She's like shrieking right now.
Because the opposite of anti-white is pro-white. So we keep talking about how anti-white CRT is, which it is. It's going to cause white power movements, which you do not have any evidence that that's going to occur.
I do have evidence I do actually have evidence that that is occurring right now, and Kieran in the chat can back me up on that because he's got evidence too. I was just reading a White Lives Matter manual this morning that he sent me. So I do have evidence. I have provided evidence. I provided clip videos of this. It is absolutely happening. And if people like this woman want to shriek and pretend it's not, I guess that's her business. But like, I'm going to tell you guys the truth. It is actually happening right now. And of course, we have people like this that are going to deny it. And that's fine. That's their business, man. But I'm not going to stop telling the truth just because it makes like people on the right uncomfortable. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. Robert makes a great point. Didn't we just literally watch? Literally right before this, two videos from an actual white identitarian. Literally in this same stream. God.
That's going to happen. And you can't even prove it.
Already have, sweetheart.
The bell curve is a lie.
Already have, sweetheart.
Think of an argument when critical race theory really has nothing to do with race to begin with. It has to do with power, and I'm going to...
Yeah, I knew she was going to pause it there. I knew it because this is the part where all the people who don't actually understand critical race theory but think they do because they're like, she's going to say something like, it literally says race in the title. It says race in the title. How can you say it had nothing to do with race and it all has to do with power? It says race in the title. Let's watch. Let's watch and see what she says. We already know what she's going to say. Look at that face. Look at it.
Critical race theory has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with power.
Oh, another fucking ad.
Jamie Amos here, best-selling author of this book, Choosing.
I wish I wasn't giving her ad revenue.
Critical race theory.
Oh, it's like they all use the same argument. It's like I knew this was the argument. But it says critical race theory in Encyclopedia Britannica. How could it possibly only have to do with race? How could it possibly not have to do with race if it says critical race theory? My God. My God. Just as a reminder for everyone in the chat, if you want to bring the critical race theory's anti-white bullshit into my stream, I'll allow a little bit of it if we're actually asking a question in good faith. But the minute that you start being disruptive or trolly in my chat is the minute that you're going to get blocked. You have a very, very, very short leash after what I've been dealing with for the past 2 weeks. You can be upset about it. You can whine about it. You can complain about it. But you will not bring that shit into my house. Sorry.
You said critical race theory has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with power.
Yep.
When the second word in CRT is race.
Yes.
And also in the definition, it says whites and African Americans.
So how funny is it that they really think that critical race theory only has to do with white and black people? because that's what's in the encyclopedia. So it must only have to do with white and black people and not be a much bigger picture than that. It's people like this that are absolutely going to destroy any legitimate fight against critical race theory. It's people like this right here who put themselves on the internet and define themselves as some sort of like expert or opinion leader or thought leader or whatever the hell because they pull up the Encyclopedia Britannica. Is this type of attitude right here. I don't know, man. What I want to do is like, there's got to be some middle ground between idiots like this and the intellectuals who are intellectualizing. There's got to be some middle ground between those two things. And that's, I mean, because I don't want to intellectualize all the time about this, but I also want to take a more nuanced take that I think is actually much more correct than what this woman is doing. Compy Franco, don't worry about giving them ad revenue. It saves us all from watching it ourselves. Well, that's why we're doing this together. That's why we're doing it together. All right.
Girl, what is wrong with you? This is what I'm talking about. These people just blatantly lie. She's here because you brought her here. Oh my God, we got a liberal that's basically speaking the things that we like and just basically speaking conservative talking.
See, this is how many subs does she have? Oh, she doesn't say. How many subscribers does she have? She doesn't say how many subs she has. Why doesn't she say how many subs she has? Huh. That's interesting. Because typically with people like this, they're literally just doing it because they want more followers. That's the only reason they're doing this. So I find it a little curious that she doesn't say how many subs she has. Nah. Not gonna debate her.
Points. Ooh, come on, Queen Slay. Now y'all mad at her because the heifer's being true to herself.
And it's always these conservatives, isn't it? When they like to call me a cow or a heifer or a pig or any of these things. It's always like, isn't that a very conservative value to attack someone based on their looks? Isn't that a very conservative value? Don't you want someone who's calling someone a heifer to represent you? Edward, how much skin in the game does this chick have compared to you? Lost client base, months on the road with Yeah, I mean, no, she's got no skin in the game, and that's exactly the point. And listen, man, I don't actually have a problem if people want to sit home and talk into a webcam all day. It's not actually any of my business, except when they're going on the internet and saying, "What have you done? What have you done?" Then I'm going to be like, "Bitch, I will compare my resume with yours every day of the week because you haven't done anything. I had no idea who you even were until today." Explain that in this video.
Unbelievable.
Not only is it too simplistic, it's actually dangerous because I right now on my Twitter have actual premises thrilled with the idea.
We really cared about.
I was about to make a rude comment. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to stoop to her level.
Twitter, we can, and once again, I'm not going to take your word about white supremacists. You cannot.
Well, honey, you could go and look for yourself, or you could have last week because they're all still fucking there. I'm just curious because I have a lot of mods in the chat right now that have been following this little saga. How many of you guys who have been watching this from the beginning believe me when I say these are actual white identitarians? And if you don't, that's okay. But I want you to put a Y into the chat if you believe me when I say that these are actual white identitarians. I want you to put an N in the chat if you don't believe me. And again, if you don't believe me, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to block you or anything if you don't believe me. But I'm honestly curious about the opinions, specifically of the people who've been following this little saga for the past 2 weeks. Why if you believe me and if you don't? Why? I see a chat full of whys. Exactly.
Call everybody who's white that disagree with you white supremacists.
I didn't. This is such fake news. This is such. Well, I actually said they didn't have to, so they can or not. This is such fake news that I called everyone who disagree with me white supremacists. Fake fucking news. And I find it particularly ironic from the people who for the last 4 years were screaming, "Why don't you listen to what Trump actually said? Why don't you watch Trump's speech? Why don't you listen to what he's actually saying? Like, I never said the things you said I did, dude. Never said what you said I did. Yeah, Caleb says it doesn't matter what you say as long as it fits their agenda until it doesn't. So close-minded of them thinking that others can't have a difference of opinion. Yep.
This is what liberals do. You're doing a typical liberal thing. Everybody who
I am a liberal. I've always been a liberal. That's never changed.
disagree with me is a Nazi. Everybody who disagree with me is a white supremacist. You can't do that with
Treehouse News. I guess I don't even know your real name. Treehouse News. I would like you to provide a clip. If you, girl, here's the thing. You want me to debate you? Here's the deal. I will debate you if you can find a single clip or a single quote of me saying anyone who disagrees with me is a white supremacist. If you can find a single clip of me, I will debate you. I'll do it on your channel. I'll do it on my channel. I will fucking host it. I'll go where you want me to go. I want one single clip of me saying that anyone who disagrees with me is a white supremacist. I want a single clip. You just need one, whether it's a video or something I tweeted or something I said anywhere. One single quote of me saying that anyone who doesn't agree with me is a white supremacist. If you can find that, I will debate you. If you can't find that, you're out of luck.
with me, girl. Okay? You can't do that with me at all.
Critical race theory being framed as Jenny's getting inky with it says most of her vids have around 5K views, but several have over 100,000. Seems to me from her vid titles, she's a Candace wannabe without the brains. I would tend to agree with that. I think there are a lot of Candace wannabes out there. You know who does have the brains? And I don't think she's a Candace wannabe, but fucking Shamika Michelle. Like, Shamika Michelle is awesome, and she has brains, and she is not a Candace wannabe. She is exactly the person that I would hope a lot of people would be listening to. Much more than this person. I don't even know who this is still. Anti-white. They are thrilled with this idea. And furthermore, well, this is a good point. It does not count if it is a clip of me daring you to find a clip of me saying that. Caveat, asterisk, does not count if you clip it from this video. Doesn't count. Are giving the left and the... Listen, man, Candace Owens is smart. Candace Owens is very smart. Candace Owens knows exactly what she's doing. The woke, exactly what they want.
How? First of all, what is it that they want?
They want to paint everyone on the right as racist. That's what they want.
You haven't even stated that.
I just did. You haven't even stated what they want. I paused the video, but you haven't even stated that. What the woke want is they want to treat everyone on the right as racist. They want to be able to have any reason they can to say, look, we were right. That's why we need more anti-racist training. That's why we need it in all schools. That's what they want. And you're giving it to them. Congratulations.
And secondly, how are we given this, whatever it is that they want? I don't know. You never told us. You never told me.
Maybe if you hadn't paused the video, darling. Like, is this rocket science? Does this woman know how videos work? Does she know how videos work? If she wants an explanation, she can continue to let video play.
But how are we doing that? How am I doing that as a Black woman? See, I'm just destroying your narrative because you can't play that white supremacy game with me, girl.
She really thinks she's owning me right now. Wow. I mean, if she's been around longer, then that's really a sad state of affairs, to be honest. If like, honestly, like if this woman couldn't grift on the MAGA thing to be bigger than she is, then that actually says a lot, because it's God, I can't even tell you. Like, I was very conscious during the 2020 election. I was like, I could make rah-rah Trump videos all day, every day, and make a boat ton of money and get a boat ton of followers, but I don't want to do that because that's not real and authentic. But I was very, very aware of how easy it was to grift on this whole thing. And so if she's actually been around longer than Candace, and she's been trying to do this, and she is no further ahead, then I'm sorry, that sounds like a personal problem to me. Oh, hi, Brian. Brian, what do you think of him? Because we kind of think he's a little bit racist. We watched a couple of videos of him earlier. We've now moved on. We're going to do this one. We kind of think he's a little bit racist. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that.
They are baiting you into this argument and you are falling for it.
Baiting us in how? What argument? Stop talking vague, but that's what they do. That's what the liberals do. They do this all the time. They talk broadly, they talk vague, and they don't be specific.
I was actually extremely specific.
This is such a liberal tactic right here.
Because you're not thinking about the bigger picture. All right, so there are 3 reasons.
Brian says he was hanging with Nick Fuentes, white nationalist types, all cheering for Trump to establish a white homeland if he won. So we've assessed that situation correctly, is what I'm hearing, Brian. We have assessed the situation correctly.
Probably more than that, but we're going to focus on
what the
3
bigger
reasons
picture is.
that we should.
Yes, you don't know what the bigger picture is, girl, because you don't know anything about critical race theory. You're just pretending like you do for likes and clicks.
Absolutely not under any circumstances be framing critical race theory as anti-white.
Now, like I said, critical race theory is lots of things. And
what are those things?
Anti-white is one of them. To deny that makes you a liar. Am I saying that critical race theory is only anti-white? Absolutely not. It's making me a victim. It's like saying that I am not capable of doing anything.
It's like she agrees with me, but is just creating outrage to get clicks and views on YouTube. It's like she's actually stating my points for me, but is framing it as though she disagrees with me to get likes and clicks and create internet controversy. The fuck?
Thing because I'm black, and that white people like you are going to always oppress me and always keep me down.
Cheers, girl, you understand.
My best. It's like saying that you are always going to have.
I'm going to make a fucking t-shirt that says Carlin derangement syndrome. There are so many people who have Carlin derangement syndrome. Fucking Carrie Smith from Unsafe Space has Carlin derangement syndrome. Fucking, like, who else has Carlin derangement syndrome? Anyone that does reaction videos about me has Carlin derangement syndrome. And I gotta tell you, like, I gotta say, like, I had this realization like a couple months ago that, like, you know, how badly some people have Carlin derangement syndrome. And it was actually kind of like, I kind of was like, is this how Trump feels all the time? Is this how Trump feels? That all he has to do is say a single sentence and everyone's going to take it out of context and be like, ah! Like, is this like how Trump feels all the time? Oh, yeah. Cassandra Fairbanks definitely has Carlin derangement syndrome. Yeah, it's a sad but true. Sad but true, she does. Sad but true. Well, she posted private text messages from me on the internet, so yeah, we had a little falling out. Yeah, after she posted text messages that I sent her on the internet and then proceeded to spend several months lying about me, yeah, we had a falling out. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Oh, man.
One leg above me because you're an evil white.
I'm gonna even do, like, I want to do, oh my god, I've got so many ideas for this Carlin derangement syndrome thing now. It's just like, and I don't even understand it. I'm like the most boring person in the world. I really am. I'm the most boring. Like, when these guys were guys, this is how boring I am. This is how boring I am. When these guys were trying to smear me, the worst thing that they could find on me was that I met Pete Buttigieg in 2019. That was the worst smear that these people could find on me, was that I took a picture with Pete Buttigieg in 2019.
Woman, and I'm just a downtrodden black. See, I got a problem with that narrative. There's a lot of things about critical race theory that I hate, and being anti-white is just one of them.
The first reason is that it's not. That's not what it is. Critical race theory is not anti-white. Critical race theory is anti everyone that disagrees with critical race theory, whether
lies.
Critical race theory actually loves white people who agree with critical race theory. Loves white. Oh, honey. See, stuff like this, that's insta-block. But what was I just gonna say? Yeah, critical race theory loves white people who agree with it. Robin DiAngelo just released her second book, or not second book. She's written a bunch of other books, but she released the follow-up to White Fragility. Robin DiAngelo's a white lady. You think all those critical race theorists aren't out reading and digesting and really absorbing Robin DiAngelo's book right now? Of course they are. Why? Because critical race theory loves white people who agree with it. Loves those white people who agree with it.
She just said, critical race theory is, hold on, let me make sure I listen to this. Let me not cut her off either. Where we at? We at 211. Okay, let's go back to 208. I'm gonna let her speak because she just basically stacks a lot and she puts points on top of points and I don't want to get lost. So let's listen to it again.
Wait, is she actually saying I'm making too many points for her to follow? I'm making point upon point upon point and she's not able to follow, so she has to go back? Exactly.
In its entirety.
Everyone that disagrees with critical race theory, whether you are black, brown, white, Asian, whatever, it does not matter. If you disagree with critical race theory, they are going to treat you as an enemy of the movement, and this is evidenced by an article that appeared in the Washington Post in January calling out.
Yeah, just to be really clear, guys, if you like Unsafe Space, continue to watch Unsafe Space. I'm not going to be like these people and tell you not to like stuff that you like. I found a lot of value in Unsafe Space when I was watching them. I found a lot of value. I mean, I think that they put out some really good stuff. I haven't watched them in better part of a year now because for reasons. But if you like Unsafe Space, continue to watch it, continue to enjoy it, continue to take whatever value you can from it. And I want to be very clear about that. Just because I do not like someone doesn't mean that I don't believe that they can't give people value. But I'm not going to hang out and support people who put private text messages on the internet and lie about me for 7 fucking months. That's not going to happen. But you should watch them if you like them.
Multiracial whiteness, which is essentially attacking any person that is not white that does not agree with them.
Okay. You just lied. I just gave you the...
What did I lie about? What did I lie about? She's not going to be able to point to a single lie that I told. What she's going to say is, I just gave you the Encyclopedia Britannica definition of critical race theory, and you are not repeating word for word the Encyclopedia Britannica definition of critical race theory, so you are a liar. That's what she's going to say. Watch.
Definition of critical race theory, and you just said something so stupid. I just can't even believe you.
What did I lie about?
You just said that critical race theory is against anyone who's against critical race theory.
Yeah.
So that was stupid.
Why?
You should be ashamed of yourself for saying something
so
dumb.
Guess what, honey? Saying something is stupid and I should be ashamed of myself isn't actually an argument. Not enough. This woman wants me to debate her when she's just like, here's what's going to be. I'm going to make like a critical race theory is against everyone who disagrees with critical race theory. Robin DiAngelo had the best-selling book of all last year because she, as a white lady, because critical race theory supports white people who agree with critical race theory. And she's going to say, you're a liar. You're stupid. You should be ashamed of yourself. Why would I debate this woman? Why would I debate this woman? Like, she has no argument.
So you're saying that as a black woman, critical race theory is anti-black women? Really, girl? You really gonna die on that hill?
Didn't she literally just say 2 minutes ago that critical race theory like tells her that she's oppressed and she doesn't like that? Am I on glue? Or did she just literally say that 2 minutes ago? And now she's saying critical race theory is a black woman. It doesn't affect me at all. She literally said 2 minutes ago that it did. Oh my God.
Let me just tell you something. This is proof. I'm gonna say this and I'm not gonna talk about I can't. Where we at 2.34? We're done. I don't want to look at no more of this stupidity, okay? I'm losing brain cells here. The bell curve is a lie, okay? Here's the deal, okay?
She can't even get through a reaction video without editing it.
The fact that I am disagreeing.
Like, I just want to say something. Like, if you can't do a reaction video without editing it over and over and over and over and over again, you probably don't know what you're talking about. I'm literally doing this live on the internet right now. I had no preparation. I didn't even know who the flip you were. And I'm able to react to every single point without editing it, without even going back and saying, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe stumbling over my words or any of that. If you can't do that, then why the fuck are you doing this?
With critical race theory does not make critical race theory anti-black. It actually makes me a black woman acting under whiteness. It's actually saying that I, as a Black woman, am displaying white behavior. Because
so what you're saying is that critical race theory impacts Black women. That's what you're saying, girl. Is that critical race theory impacts Black women, which is exactly what I said. Congratulations, you got there.
Because critical race theory is in fact anti-white, it is saying that I, as a Black woman, am acting like an evil white woman. Whiteness is evil, and whiteness is associated with white. How is that not anti-white? So it's not going to go against me as a Black woman. It is going.
You literally just said it would 3 minutes ago. You literally just said it would 3 minutes ago. I'm not going to rewind the video because I don't particularly care to find the exact place. We've already been streaming for 2.5 hours, but you literally said it would.
Going against me under whiteness. They're saying that my behavior right now, a Black woman, Black man, anybody Black who actually speaks out against critical race theory is acting in whiteness. Okay. If I decide to take a job in a white company and actually agree that I can get to where I can with hard work and good choices, that is acting in whiteness. Whiteness.
Doesn't that sound a little bit racist to anyone else to say that Black people are acting in whiteness? Doesn't that sound a little bit racist? Because I think it does, and I think that does impact Black people, and I don't think that that's okay, because we shouldn't be treating people based on the color of their skin. We should be treating people based on the content of their character, which is always the argument that I've made. But she's literally making my argument for me right now, and she's just not enough to realize it.
Equals evil. Whiteness is associated with white people, and white people are born racist. Therefore, that in itself is anti-white. You are not born racist for being white.
No shit. No, you mean I wasn't born a racist? No kidding. No kidding.
It is saying that you, as a white woman, you are evil.
Well, as I said, if she can find a single clip, a single quote of me saying that anyone who disagrees with me is a white supremacist, that she doesn't pull from this video or any other video where I've been debunking this little lie, if she can find a single clip or a single quote or anything of me seriously asserting that anyone who disagrees with me is a white supremacist, then I will debate her. But it has to be me seriously making that assertion, which she won't be able to find because it doesn't exist. So you can, Miss Glow, you can pass along that message. If she can find a single clip of me saying that, as she asserts that I did in this video, then I will gladly debate her.
How do you not see this? And that in itself is anti-white. They're saying that when I actually do something against the critical race theory narrative, I'm not acting as an independent Black woman who thinks.
Well, Adrian, I'm not worried about it because I've literally never said that. So, I mean, this is basically my way of telling her to piss off. Like, she won't be able to find the clip because it doesn't exist.
For herself. No. I'm acting under whiteness, which is evil. So you're disingenuous. You're also a POS for not even being honest. And I don't understand where this whole boogeyman with you and with you liberals, but you're just acting like a typical liberal. And so I just want to thank you for proving me right. I never liked you, girl. I always knew you was a grifter.
I never even knew who you were, girl. And now I know you're a grifter. Never even knew who you were, sweetheart. Never even knew who you were.
But you ain't alone. There's lots of you here. So this goes to show you that a lot of conservatives are actually thirsty, and now it's biting them in the butt. Because by the way, I'm not going to downvote your video. And by the way, I'm asking my audience, don't go over there and mess with our video. I'm not going to touch your video. I'm definitely not going to downvote it because you are acting.
I don't really care if people downvote it or not. Whether or not people downvote a video makes absolutely no difference in my life. Sequitur, I don't know how to pronounce that. Just wanted to say hi and go get him Dr. K. Also Dr. K 2024 because the country needs a doctor. Lots of love from Bama. Should come down sometime. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it.
True to yourself. This should be a lesson to conservatives and those are on the right. As a right winger, stop catering to these losers. Just because they wear a mega hat, or in this case,
I wasn't wearing a MAGA hat. I was wearing a walkaway hat and a MAGA mask. God.
A mega mask does not mean they're on our...
And it's MAGA. MAGA, not mega. MAGA. Enunciate.
Team. And this woman stood up here telling me, I can't believe I'm on your team. I don't want you here. You need to go back to the left where you came from.
Well, it's a good thing I left the right like a couple months ago when I joined the Libertarians, and actually had mentally left before that. So, hey, you don't have me anymore. You don't have my vote anymore either. And I'm going to be doing everything I can to try to pull away as many walkaway voters as I can, as long as they align on values. If they want to stay because they align on values, that's fine. But I don't think a lot of walkaways belong in the GOP. I don't think the GOP values them. I don't think that they really care about them at all. And so I'm gonna make sure they know that there is another place for them to go, where they're going to be a lot more accepted. Reagan, would I go on Tim Pool? Nope. Hard no. Hard limits. Hard limit. Too toxic. Don't like. And it's not like I don't like. I mean, I know. Like I think there is a portion of Tim Pool's audience, not all of them, but I think there's a portion of them that are like really toxic, and I don't want to be exposed to them like that. No, absolutely not. I also really. No. But if you like him, keep watching him. Don't really care. But I'm not going to be doing that. No. People ask, and I'm answering that because people literally ask me that every fucking day, and sometimes I just answer it just because.
And Republicans, conservatives, and right-wingers, stop being thirsty for these people.
Sorry.
Because next time when they show you their true self, don't get butthurt. It is her nature to be this way. It is her nature as a...
How is that any different than saying that someone who is born white is born racist? It is her nature. It is simply within the nature of white people to be born racist. It is just her nature. How is that any different? Is he really? Because I know that he was saying it for a while. So if he's been really careful about not, I actually really appreciate that. Nope. I've already said that I will debate her if she finds a clip of me, and you're now going to get blocked, Aaron, because you got put in a timeout at first and you haven't changed your behavior. So now you're getting blocked. Goodbye.
Liberal to come over here and tell us what to do and what not to do. And if you disagree with her, you are a white supremacist.
See, that's the clip. Treehouse News, that's the clip. If you can find a clip of me saying that if you do not agree with me, you're a white supremacist, that was not taken from this video or any video where I've debunked that little myth, then I will debate you, girl. That's the deal. Find the clip of me saying it.
When are y'all going to learn? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. If you like this video.
Oh, Tree of Logic. That's the same thing. Okay.
You could be disagreeing with me. But the thing about it is that I have not been proven wrong about these grifters so far, and I never will.
Oh, I think I just did, sweetheart. I think I just did.
And I will see you next time. Later, Tater.
Okay, so this is the same person. Like, people are saying, like, Tree of Logic and Treehouse News. Is that the same person? Is that the same person? Like, is there another tree person? No, Treehouse News, Tree of Logic appears to be the same person. All right. Well, that's all I've got for this one, guys. We've been streaming for coming up on 3 hours. I didn't really expect to go that long, but I hope you enjoyed these little reaction videos. I got some work to do. I got to go actually do other things in the world. Maybe even get another cup of coffee to put even more piss and vinegar in my step. But thank you for spending some time with me today. I appreciate it. If you want to support the work that I'm doing, the best place to go is my Locals community. Locals is awesome. No trolls are allowed in my Locals. Let's see. Here it is. We do 2 Zoom calls a week in my Locals. We do a book club. We do a debate club, which I will be editing the clip for the debate club right after this, Tony, I promise. You can get in on all that action by going to kb.locals.com/support. You can support me monthly for $5 a month or an annual membership for $50 a month. It is the nicest place on the internet. No trolls allowed. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you soon.